Yo, guys, welcome to Gold 1 Protoss. Oh my god, my James, I give it the bits.
Where can I buy your used tissues, Daddy?
Oh my god. No. Negative. Guys, welcome to Gold 1 Protoss. In this video, once again, doing everything we did before in Gold 2 and Gold 3 and everything below. It's all relevant to what we are doing right now, but we're going to do one more new thing again. And now what we're going to do is we're going to do a quick, easy mineral split. So what the goal is I'm going to be grabbing probes now, and I'm going to be sending them to the side of the mineral patch and then stacking mineral patches. So we're building upon our efficiency of our opening mineral line. So mouse in the middle, make a probe, grab a probe, send it to the side patch. Easy enough, right? Easy peasy. And what we just did, we'll explain what we just did, but realistically what we just did is we just gave ourselves even more money again. We gave ourselves a little bit more efficient mining all over again. Alright, we're versatarian. Let's just put our pylon down. Okay, all of our close patches are stacked. Things are looking wonderful. Things are looking great. They're looking super duper good. Okay, let's go ahead and make our gateway. We can now scout our opponent with this probe. Also, you guys may be wondering, Vibe, where is your camera? Fucking turn your camera on, Vibe. Where is your camera? It's off because I have a stuffy nose, and I literally shoved the tissue in my nose so that I could speak properly without feeling super congested. Like the tissue is actually absorbing moisture in my nose, and it's making it less annoying. So I don't want to be on camera with the tissue in my nose.
I'm
Sorry.
currently at Plat 2, Plat 1. What's your suggestion to jump into B2GM? Leaving games to drop MMR and start with it?
No.
Watch the videos and wait for the platinum parts? Or
No.
do you have another suggestion?
You definitely shouldn't leave games because it's not going to help you at all. Hold on, I'll tell you in a second. Give me 1 second. Definitely don't leave games though. Okay, so what did we just see? We just saw a Terran player going for multiple buildings of production, and he's also going for multiple gases. No expansion, guys. So what are we going to do against that? We're going to make a battery. That's all we're doing. We're just going to go normal build here, just make a battery. Add a battery to it. We're not going to freak out and change my build and be like, oh my god, we're going to do something totally different now. Just make a battery. Second thing we're going to do. Okay, second thing we're going to do is we're going to tell Blechfast how to fucking play StarCraft. Blechfast. Blechfast. All you got to do, dude, realistically, all you got to do, okay? Watch bronze videos. Watch silver videos. Watch all the videos up to your league. Because you're falling into the same trap that I say everyone falls into. And you're another example of the guy who falls into it. I appreciate the 24-month, 2-year sub. Thank you very much for the support. And don't take offense to what I'm saying. It's not meant to be that way. It's just you're legit falling into the trap. And what that trap is the person that thinks that everything below their league is irrelevant. And it's not irrelevant. Everything we do in bronze all the way to GM is relevant. Like the things we do in GM came from bronze. Bronze is still relevant to GM. I actually think people in Masters League or GM could watch my fucking bronze videos and go, holy shit, I never did that. What the fuck? I never did that. Vi, what the hell? I never do that. I never knew that existed. Or something like that. So if you actually watch the bronze videos, I'm not saying you have to watch the entire thing, but at least watch like the first game of each video because that's when I do the most of my analysis. And it will give you so much more of an understanding of what the fuck you actually do in StarCraft and why you do certain things and how to like read things and how to be efficient with things. A lot of players don't even know what they're doing. They just do it randomly because they just copy. But if you actually know what you're doing, it changes your entire pacing as a player. So yeah, you should watch the entire series. Like you should watch it from beginning. If you want genuine improvement, watch the bronze videos and it will still apply to you in platinum. Obviously you can play faster than bronze, but the concepts in bronze are still the same. Alright, let's take our third base. Take a pylon. Let's go ahead and get a Phoenix. Go to his base with it. take our gases.
I am here in the shadows.
Vibe, you're the best. Oh, you're the best, dude. Thank you. Much love. Okay, so what do we see? We see no expansion still, guys. Let's check his third really quick to see if there's a base here. No. Okay. What's he got? Keep making probes. Keep making stalkers. 4 or 5. We got... Looks like we're gonna get all in by some drop. Like, it's like a doom drop in my base, right? Looks like it's gonna be like tanks and shit. Which is all good. That's all G. I'm not really worried. It is what it is. Let's make another pylon. Here's a cool trick you can do as well. If you ever get yourself in a game and you're like, Vibe, my opponent's gonna all in me, but I have a lot of fogged areas in my base. Do that. Right there. Right what I just did. Do what I just did. Suddenly you make a couple of pylons in your base, and now you can't die to random shenanigans that just show up out of nowhere. And you're like, wow, I'm so much more defensible now, because I actually have vision of a medevac flying in my base like that.
Just treat me like some bronze player, why don't you?
Okay, here we go. Let's go ahead and A move towards the tanks. Where are they going? My third base or my... Oh, they're going to my main base. Okay. So go up to my main base. We can rally my boys up here. Are we going to stop macroing? No. A move towards the area. Keep making stalkers. Keep making immortals. Keep producing my probes. Let's go ahead and also take another nexus because we're fully saturated. We can A move the area again. A move the area. Just grab all my units that are sitting there doing nothing. And now let's go ahead and make our upgrades, right? Make our upgrades. So we're going to grab our council and a couple of forges. Also now he's attacking over here, it looks like, so let's warp in some stalkers. It's all good. We could even take our probes and just A move the area with them. Or if there's a lot of marines here, you can run away with them. It's really a judgment call. Okay, we can make some more gateways. Okay. Yeah, it looks like we're losing that fight, right? So we can just back up. Make some more stalkers. Keep making probes. Don't freak out. Is it time to freak out? No, not really. We can try and fight it again. We have more units here now. Make another immortal. Keep making probes. Chrono boost our probes as well because they died. Okay, let's start actually saturating our next base over here. He's attacking this base now. Make some more stalkers again. We can get our upgrades going on this base. We get charge. Keep making probes. Don't stop making probes, guys. We need those probes. Transfer these probes over here. Let's go ahead and get our Templar archives, because look at our gas, right? We have a lot of gas and no minerals. Vibe, I'm freaking out watching this. It's okay. And now that we're going into Council with Archons, let's start going into Zealots and let's start going into Zealots and Archons instead with our money. Keep making. Look, we took our 4th base again. It happens to be our 3rd that was retaken, but it's okay. 4 or 5. Let's try to keep producing units. Let's take our gases at this base. Temple Archives is almost done. Probe count's still looking pretty good. We can start honestly chrono boosting our upgrades, and we can start making some Archons. Okay, now he's attacking my natural. We can run our probes for a second because our army is really far out of position. Let's make another Archon. Okay, it got denied. Let's make an Archon here. Make another Immortal. And let's A move the area. A move the area with our shit. Keep making units, keep making probes. Okay, we can send these units down here to help. Send these probes back to go mine minerals. Build another pylon. Keep making probes. Our opponent's super aggressive again. Okay, we got charge now. And our money is still able to be spent pretty well, so we're not going to really add on production yet. This guy is really aggressive and he keeps fucking me over a little bit. Let's fix this base. Send some probes back over here. Send one probe back to this mineral line. Now we're at 16 and 16. And how's the main looking? It's good. How's the natural? Good. Third base? Good. Make a couple gases here. Make a couple pylons. Let's actually start adding in a couple pylons around our base. And here's what we're going to do with this, okay? We're going to add in like one pylon and a ring around our base like this. Like periodically. And what this does is it gives us what's called a pylon vision like net. It's a pylon net vision field. So we're going to see if the opponent trips like the net wire of where the pylons are. If he like walks over it by killing a pylon. It's just going to help us be alerted that we're getting attacked in an area. Look, he's attacking us again. Let's go ahead and A-move the area. We can run our probes away just like last time. Get my army grouped up in the front. Still keep making probes, guys. I'm not freaking out right now. It's not time to freak out. Group my army up. Keep making probes. Make a couple more zealots. A-move the area right now. Take our probes and mine. Okay, that nexus died. So we can mine that nexus instead because it's newer and rebuild this one. It's all G. And you see what's going to happen now from the future is if we actually get attacked like that again, we probably would have a better chance to not break because we'll see it with the pylon field. Possibly. It's a higher chance. Okay, so this base is 16 out of 16. It's good. This base is over by 2. Fix it. This base is over by 3. Fix that. This base is being rebuilt. Probe count currently is 85 now. We're good to go. We fixed everything. So my sentry died. We can keep chrono boosting upgrades, but my sentry died. So let's take one zealot, A-move the left side of the map. Take one zealot, A-move the right side of the map because my sentry is literally dead. Okay. Let's make a bunch more gates now because we could use the production. We can actually use the money now. Like, we have a lot of money we can't spend. Let's make another robo. Chrono booster upgrades. Grab a couple probes and send them somewhere different. That's good. Like this base right here, for instance. This base is almost back online. Let's take another base again because all my bases are pretty highly saturated. So let's go here instead. Okay, that zealot's dying. We can we now know he has a natural. Does he have a third base? We didn't. Let's check his third base. I don't know where the fuck the zealot was going, but we need to check his third base. Okay. Make a bunch more gates again. Gate, 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 gate. Okay, there's no third base. Sick. Transfer 3 probes to that gas. Transfer some probes to these gases, and the reason why is because we're going Archons now, so we can totally do this. Mineral field's depleting. Transfer some probes away to a base that needs probes, like that base right there. Make some zealots. And now we have 22 production buildings, so we're really happy on our production. Make a couple Archons. Make an Immortal. We can chrono boost our Immortals now as well with our upgrades. Let's get 3 upgrades started. And then now let's add in a couple more zealots to finish off our max. Grab our army, let's group up and let's go hit his natural because we know he's only on 2 bases. So my army's literally scattered everywhere. I warped it in all over the place. And now some of our army also defended attacks earlier. So let's group it up in front of his base. Like don't just send it in staggered and spread out like this. You definitely don't want to attack like that. Get our army grouped up in front of his base. And then now that we're grouped up in front of his base like this, our army's actually together. Now we A-move, natural, shift the ramp, shift the main, grab the observer, follow an immortal with it, and now we're good. Go back to macroing. Make units. Chrono boost our upgrades. And now... Here we go, dude. So let's talk about this really fast, okay? Mineral stacking. Let's talk about mineral stacking really quickly. Also, Koopa, thank you for the bits during that. Bletchfoss, thank you for the 2-year sub. Mind James, thank you very much for the 100 biddies. I appreciate you guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Vibe, you don't get plasma shields? No, we stopped getting plasma shields once we started going for zealots. We stopped going plasma shields in like Silver League. We started going for armor upgrades in Gold League because now we're not just going Stalkers every game, all game with Stalker Archon. Now we're going for Zealot Archon, and Zealots benefit way fucking more from armor, which is also a big chunk of our army. And the more Zealots we make, the more Archons we can make. But Zealots are always the things that are dying first anyways. So Zealots want to have armor over over shield upgrades. It helps a lot more. And the reason why, if anyone out there that's like, Vibe, I don't understand, please explain why that makes any sense at all. Because a Zealot, guys, has 100 HP and 50 shields, okay? And armor in StarCraft 2 only applies to the HP. It does not apply to the shields. Shields, for our shield upgrades, only apply to shields. And here's the crazy thing as well. Even though the Protoss has 100 HP, it has 1 armor passively on that. So if you get +3, you get to a total of 4 armor on a Zealot overall. And not only does it have twice the amount of hit points that it has shields, but it has passive armor as well, which means it actually gets more armor in total than it could ever have in shields, because in shields, it can only literally ever have 3 shield upgrades, and that's it. It doesn't have a passive shield upgrade. It doesn't have passive 1 on shields. Every unit in StarCraft for Protoss, no matter what unit it is, always has 0 shield passively. There's nothing that has passive shield upgrades. But there are lots of units for Protoss that have passive armor. And here's why this is a big deal, okay? If a Marine does 6 damage and a Zealot has 1 armor, equals Marine does 5 damage. Units in StarCraft 2 are exact. They're not like, oh, well, it just does a little bit less damage or it does a little bit more damage. It's percentage based. It's not like that. It's exact numbers. So if a Marine does 6 and a Zealot has 1 armor, it means the Marine does 5. Now, if a Zealot has 4 armor and a Marine has 6, if a Marine does 6 damage and a Zealot has 4 armor because it has 3 armor upgrades plus the passive armor on it, equals a Marine now only does 2 damage. 2 damage a Marine. Does that make sense? So more armor is better. It's just better. It makes your Zealot... It not only does it apply to more of the overall health of a Zealot, because it's 2/3 of its entire health pool. It applies to all of its hit points. But yeah, that's why we're going for armor. Our army is becoming very heavy Zealot focused, so it makes more sense to get armor now. We were not using Zealots at all in Silver League. And why were we not using Zealots in Silver League? Because we were not understanding the concept of really understanding what kind of a composition our opponent was going for, unless an air unit literally flew into our base or something. And we were like, then, oh, okay, he's going for battle cruisers because he fucking has a battle cruiser teleporting in my base. Now we actually look at the fight every time when we go, we look at our scout and go, what units is he making? Ah, ground. Oh, air. And then we can continue to go stalkers, or we can continue to make zealots based on if we see if it's ground or air. Okay. Now, moving on from that point, thank you for asking. Now we're going to talk about mineral splitting, okay? So we already talked about mineral stacking. That's 2 per patch, that whole concept. It's really good on your economy, right? But now the concept... Sorry, I had to turn on an AC unit. It's so fucking hot in this room. I had to turn on... Jesus, I was going to say it twice. Sorry, my brain is scattered. So we're going to talk about mineral splitting. Mineral splitting, okay? And now what mineral splitting is, it's super simple. All you do is if you visualize, all your probes are going to this one patch. And what happens to this probe right here is he has to run all the way up to that patch. And by the time he gets there, he's going to then go, oh, I shouldn't mine here anymore. So he'll go somewhere else.
Hi. I can't see the channel because I am usually asleep. I am glad you are doing B2GM again. Did you do Zerg and Terran already?
Thank you, Orbital Wave. And I'm not doing any Zerg or Terran today, but if you type these commands in the chat right here, anyone who's listening to this right now, if you go to my stream and type that in right there, exclamation point, your race, followed by GM, no spaces. It will link you to the current videos that I have made for all 3 races. And yes, I have right now, as of right now, I have my Terran and my Zerg in Platinum 3, and my Protoss is in gold 1. So my Protoss is one promotion behind my Terran and Zerg. I'm doing them all simultaneously as I go. I'm like rotating them around. All of them are going to eventually be GM though. Okay, thank you for the bits, dude. So if you look at this probe, guys, the probe has to run, this far back probe has to run all the way up and touch that patch, and then it's going to go somewhere else. So it means it has to go a really far distance to then figure out where it wants to go to, like a side patch. Right? So if I grab a probe and I tell it to go here instead, it literally makes the probe go from point A to point C right away, when it could have gone point A to point B to then to point C. It's like, imagine if you're taking a flight and they tell you, I tell you what, you could go direct and then it could be a 2-hour flight. Just a one-stop, non-stop flight from one destination to the other, 2 hours. Or we could get you on a connecting flight, which would take you backwards for 2 hours, and then you'll get on another flight there that'll take you forward for 4 hours, because you have to make up the 2 hours that you go backwards and then go forwards from there and then make it to your destination, which means you can either you can either get there in 2 hours or you can get there in 6 hours.
Less than 3 B2GM. Best StarCraft lessons out there. Love the clear and detailed explanations.
Thank you very much, Anti-Cromulent. Thank you very much, man. But you get what I mean? Like, if you take away point fucking B here, and you go from straight A to point A, the initial starting point, to the end point where it wants to be eventually, you just increase your mining time. It literally gives your probe like an extra round of mining. It increases your money a little bit. So, very worth doing. That's why we do it. So we just grab the probe and we say, hey, mine the patch right away. Easy peasy. Now, here's the final thing about this. Also, thank you for the sub, Anti-Cromulent. Thank you, dude, for the 2. Here's the final thing about this, okay? If your probes, or like if you want to properly not fuck this up, okay, so definitely don't grab like 7 probes and be like, how about I do half the mineral line vibe? No, don't do that. All you want to do is you look at a mineral line, okay? Look at the mineral line. I'm going to teach you guys something really fast. Do you notice how there is 2 patches here? There's a tiny bit of a gap. There's a patch here. There's a gap. There's 2 patches. There's a gap. And there's 3 patches. These all touch each other. Now, to be fair, if you're better at StarCraft, you'll realize that this is actually not a gap. Okay? It's just because of the way the grid works in StarCraft 2, which is a 2x2, a 2x2, and a 2x2. That's why this looks fucking weird. But it looks like there's a gap. But even if you think that that's a gap, that's okay. I want you to know that that's okay. It looks like a gap, even though it's not really. This is definitely a gap, and that is also definitely a gap. Okay? And what that means is they're not, the mineral lines are not touching each other, corner by corner or grid by grid. Like, there's a gap there, which means probes could run through that. Now, here's what you want to do. If you want to split your probes on the side of the mineral line, which is where you ideally want to do it, because you want to avoid the maximum travel time. 2 ways to do this are this, okay? Number 1, grab the probes in the furthest back location. Do not grab the probe in the front. Do not ever grab the probes in the front to split it, because they're already close to this patch, so you're just once again creating a problem if you do that. Grab the probe in the back that is the furthest away from the mineral patch that they're going to, and send them to a closer patch, like one of the edges of the mineral line, essentially. And the way you want to do it is you want to grab, if you want to make it easier for yourself, literally try to do 1 every time. Just grab 1 and call it a day, and you're fine. If you want to make it super easy. But if you want to understand the concept, it's okay if you grab the stack of patches in terms of the amount of probes. So if there are 3 patches stacked here, I could grab 3 probes and click on a patch, and then they would spread themselves out intelligently on patch, patch, patch. And it would increase my efficiency of my mineral line. If I grab 1 probe and I do 1 patch, it again still increases my efficiency of my mineral line. If you grab 4, that's bad, because now you have 3 stacking here. And now this 4th probe, once again, is having a problem going, all these are taken, so now I'm going to run around the mineral line for a while trying to figure out where I want to go. So you only want to grab the stack or less. Some maps have 2, some maps have 3. It's always at least 2 or 3. But if you want to make it easier for yourself, just try to grab the 1 probe on the far end and tell it to go to the far end of the mineral line. And it will be super fucking nice and easy peasy. that will be still good for you. It's also the reason why I'm also telling you to do this. Not only is it because it gives you, once again, a little bit more money, makes your build a little bit more efficient, but the reason why this is also really good is because this teaches you how to be more precise with your mouse. And being precise with your mouse is something you need to learn how to do if you want to start learning how to micro. So this is one further step into being precise with your mouse. Grabbing a probe and then spreading it off onto one patch. And that's mineral splitting. We're going to do that every game from now on as well. So every game we're going to be stacking mineral patches, and we're going to be splitting the mineral line right at the start of the game. Vibe, by how much does this increase your efficiency? Okay. So what it does for you is, again, it removes your mineral stack, whatever, the point A to point B to point C. It makes it go from point A to directly to point C. Not only does it give that exact probe an extra bonus round of turn-in, which is 5 minerals for that probe, but it also increases your chances that your probes will be more intelligent about how they automatically space themselves out over the mineral line, and you have a higher chance that the initial spread of the mineral line is going to stack more close patches. That's all it does. So again, it gives you 5 more minerals for the one probe that you send to this patch, guaranteed, and then it increases the chances that your probes will stack more of the close patches, because now this is going to be a proper patch by the time the other probes get to this patch and rotate around. Notice how, watch the initial start of it. Notice how, remember how on the automatic spread, what happens is the 4 middle patches of the mineral line always have a double stack and the 4 far patches don't? So what's the 4 far patches? These 4 far patches. Those would always have 1. And then what are the 4 close patches? Those would always have 2. What does that mean? That is 1, 2 close patches, 1, 2 far patches. So literally half and half for a standard spread. However, if I tell one of this probe right here to go to that patch right there, if I connect those two together, there's a chance that these 2 patches, because they're in the middle, will still get double saturated. And now one of the far patches might not be double saturated, and it might have one of these probes come down here and saturate here. So now immediately we have 3 out of 4 close patches automatically saturated rather than only 2 out of 4, which again will increase our money a little bit faster because it increases efficiency of that probe. You should still be trying to fix it either way. But again, if I had to really tell you what this would probably give you in the amount of minerals, it probably gives you somewhere between 8 to 10 minerals extra again before what you had previously. Probably 8 to 10 minerals on top of what you previously had. And 8 to 10 minerals is enough to maybe throw down your initial pylon by like 1 second faster. Or like your gateway 1 second faster. Things like that. It's not the biggest of deals, but it does definitely, again, if you're comparing something to nothing, it's like saying, well, I have $10. Well, I have 0. Okay, who has more money? Oh, the guy with $10 apparently has more money. It does do something, obviously. It's not like it's literally nothing. But it's not like, holy fuck, this gives you 1,000 minerals. So, but it is worth doing. Again, the other reason why it's worth doing is because it increases your precision with your mouse. It makes you more comfortable clicking shit if you practice clicking shit. Like, precisely. That's one of the big reasons why. Also, again, I kind of skipped it again because I keep getting derailed here with my thought process. But look, just watch, okay? Watch this patch. I don't even do it myself. All I do is I split the probe, right? I told the probe, hey, probe, go there. That's the only thing I touched so far. And now watch how a second probe will arrive at this patch. Oh, there we go. Now because, see how the second probe just got there? Because I told this probe to mine faster than it normally would have. Now when a second probe comes here to automatically spread itself out, it's now double stacked this patch. Easy peasy. Again, it's like what MacDog just said is what the whole point is. It's a good habit that you're trying to work on right now when it's easier to do it because you have the game right now in Gold League, guys, is not that intimidating. It's like you're not doing a whole lot. You're just macroing. So if you work on trying to get better at your macro now, especially if it's something that requires a little bit of mouse precision, it's a good habit that you can develop because if you get really good at it later, it's going to be so fucking easy to do every game and you don't even think about it. And then it's going to just make your mouse more
Thank
precise.
you. Thank you. Great lesson.
Yo, 2 breakfast. Thank you very much for the 5. Much love. It's just worth doing because there's nothing but pros, like no cons here. The only con that this has is if you over micro it and you go, ah, fuck, I grabbed 7 probes. Well, guess what? Practice. Get better at it. And you know what's going to happen? When you actually start microing and I tell you, okay, grab 5 stalkers out of this group and move them somewhere. You're not going to be like, ah, shit, I grabbed 40 units. Ah, dang it, I'm really bad with my mouse. You're going to be like, all right, I grabbed 9 or I grabbed 5. I'm actually like a bit more accurate now than I was before. Like if I tell you to make a green box that's that big and I tell you to do it in 1 second like this, you're not going to be like this. Okay. Oh, shit. Whoops. I got a big one. Oh, dang it. Oh, shit. I keep getting a big one vibe. I don't know how to use my mouse properly. I'm going to be like, make a control grip that, or make a box that big. You're going to be like, okay, did it. It's going to always be like somewhat accurate, right? You're going to be somewhat accurate with it. You're not going to be the guy who's got so much variance in his clicks like this. Don't be that guy. All right. We got it, boys. Don't be the big box guy. Don't be the big box, the little box guy. All right. So now now we have our Nexus seating set up at our natural. Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. And, you know, the build's going along as it is. Alright, and now here we go. Here comes the attack, right? So our opponent attacks us. Our opponent attacks us right now. He attack us. Our opponent attack us right now. And look at the supply when he attacks us. 22 probes to 52 probes. 30 supply lead for us overall. So that means we're 30 probes ahead and 30 supply ahead, which means our army sizes should be about the same. Very, very similar. 26 to 31, it's super close. So it's not that much of a deviation here. Our army is fighting this horribly bad. There's so many things we could do here. We could pop a guardian shield. We could move our army closer so the back of our line here doesn't get stuck behind the initial concave. There's so many fucking things we could do here. To make this go, I could focus fire the tank. The tank would die in like seconds if I focus fired it. I could then focus fire the medevacs, and I could eliminate this altogether. There's so many things we could do here, but again, is that the priority?
Oh yeah.
It's not the priority. The priority is us making sure we don't fuck up our probe production, our zealot, or rather our stalker production, because it's still early game. Our immortal production. Just outproduce it, right? But again, this is what the first fight looked like. Our army was really dumb. Our army's also really stacked while the tank just pounds the crap out of us. And look at that, right? So we lose more than he does, but again, yet we're still super far ahead. Same concepts always apply as before, where more shit beats less shit. Now, we pulled our probes there for a second. We pulled our probes there for a second against the Marines, but the Marines have stim pack, and there was also a lot of them because another medevac came over and reinforced another 8 Marines in this fight. So that got kind of scary, and our probes all end up dying anyways. It's all good. Again, is that the priority? No, who cares? Even though I've lost a lot here, I've lost. These are the moments that I feel like if you are a genuine gold, platinum, silver, bronze player, these are the kinds of games that I don't understand why you think micro is better. I could have microed this, and I could have made this so much cleaner for myself, right? But at the cost of what? This is what it would be at the cost of. My opponent has killed 3,800 resources worth of Protoss, and in the process has only lost 825. This means the Protoss has literally killed 3,000 more than what he's lost. This is a super good trade for Terran. Really, really, really good trade. Super good trade. But even though he's trading this well, he's fucking behind by 4 supplies still. This is what will happen to all platinum players, all gold players, all silver, like all players that are platinum or below. This will always happen to them. They think micro is the priority, but even though this guy is microing and he's fucking me up, he's still behind. That shit is unacceptable if you want to get better at StarCraft. It's unacceptable. You cannot be this far behind still to do this much damage and still be behind. Efficiency is not on this guy's side.
Help me OB1 Macro be you're my only hope. Loved the previous B2GM and loving the 2021 edition.
Yo, Super MBH, thank you very much for the 79. Much love, dude. And then he kills my Nexus, right? And look, there's even more damage I took, right? And then he goes for the next base. He's doing another drop, trying to micro it like a boss. And let's really quickly look at production during this, right? We got more shit here. You got 1 tank coming out there. Got a lot of money for Terran just sitting there. Starport's not being used. These racks aren't being used. This command center is still not even a fucking orbital command yet. No SCVs being made. There's no natural started. This Terran has no chance to develop this into a later stage of a game. Like, the whole game is banked on that drop winning the game, right? And now that it failed and he's going to leave, now he'll do shit like, okay, I'll expand, I guess, because I got a lot of money. I'll start building more stuff. Blah, 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 blah. Actually, he's going for another drop. I remember. He did it right here. I forgot.
Going on D2 with 78 PM thanks to Vibu.
Hell yeah. Congrats, dude. Thank you very much for the 5, Brambleshire. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And then again, same concept, right? Guys, I've lost a lot. I've lost a ton. Now I've lost like 3,400 more than he's lost. It keeps going up, right? He's taking slightly better trade after slightly better trade up to this point. He keeps taking decent trades. But even though he keeps taking slightly better trades, and the deficit of how much I've lost to how much he's lost keeps growing in favor of, like, in his favor. Like I am losing more than he's losing slowly over time. But it doesn't matter, again, because of the mountain of resources we both have. I probably, at this point in the game now, I probably have 14,000 or like 15,000, or probably like, we'll say 15K. I have like 15,000 resources already available in my pool of money. And my opponent probably has about 8K or like 7K. So even though I lose 5K off of 15K, which takes me down to about 10, and he loses about almost 2K off of about 7, well, he's still only about 5 to my 10 overall. This is bigger and more important than this. And this is what everyone focuses on because they want to see how efficient they can be with their units, because this is micro. This unit's lost chart might as well say micro. Like, how good are you at it? How good are you at killing his shit, not losing your shit? And this is this income might as well say macro. This is like saying how good can you make money over your opponent? And people that don't fucking care about income and only care about units lost because they only care about their attacks, they think they're doing a great job like this, and they get confused as to why they lose because they don't fucking make any money. And they're always behind, even though they're killing more than they lose.
I'm currently Gold 1 Protoss, so this is perfect timing. Thanks for doing that series, even though it can be exhausting. Vibu heart.
Yo, Gamer Talk, thank you so much for the 5. And Aristotle, thank you for the Prime. Thank you, guys. And there you go. Now more of his army just died. And now, you know, he's still doing a 2-to-1. It's still not as good as it was before, but it's still pretty good. This is like a 2-to-1 efficiency. Still a little bit even more than that in the favor of Terran, right? But I'm doubling his supply. And it's like, how does that make any sense? And the reason why that makes sense is because he hasn't... There we go. A 9-minute expansion, right? Like, it's just no macro incentive at all. The only reason why he's expanding is because he goes, well, my base is mining out, so I might as well expand now, otherwise I'm just going to die. Like, the game's over if I don't expand again. But now he's never going to have a chance ever again, because when I max out, he's going to have like 90 supply. Or like maybe 100. He'll always be about half my supply. And there we go. Here comes another attack, right? But now look at this. This attack the first time, when this dropped first at my mid mineral line, it was a problem, right? Because even though it wouldn't have been a problem if we microed, it was a problem because we didn't. And it was a bit of a trade, like a wash. We both lost our armies. But now I don't have to micro still. But now this is enough army to just literally fucking steamroll this. I can just A-move it and not care at all. And watch everything just die. As we go here. And he knows it too, which is why he's unsieging and trying to load up and get the hell out of there. And he boosts away, and he saves 2 tanks and 3 medevacs, but all the Marines die, and 1 of the tanks died. Now we have our pylon net vision field, which is going to alert us if drops are there, because if they die, oh, his armies are there. But now look at the supply. 142 to 60. Let's look at resources lost. He's still kicking my ass, right? You're like, oh, damn, Terran's owning Protoss right now. Terran's only lost 4,100. Protoss has lost 6,800. Terran's got a good situation going on here, dude. Oh, my God. Yeah, look at the income. Not the same thing. I can make up, because again, this represents every minute. The reason why, guys, here's the reason. The reason why units lost is not as relevant as income. Thank you, Smile Moth.
High vibe.
Smiley Moth. Thank you very much, dude, for the 2 months. Hi. Thank you, thank you. The reason why resources lost, units lost, is not as valuable of a stat to read the game off of as income is because units lost represents this one time. It's just once. Okay, so throughout the entire game, Protoss has lost 2,700 more resources, or like 2,800 more resources than Protoss has lost 2,800 more than Terran. So Terran's ahead by 2,800 resources here in this department once over the entire game. Now this income, you might as well put a times 12 right now on this. This represents every fucking minute of the game. Now, obviously, it wasn't this extreme since minute 1, which is why it takes a little bit of an understanding to know what, you know, we were throughout the entire game. But we do know for the fact this guy was on one base until 9 minutes, and we were on a natural by like a minute 30. We were by 9 minutes. We were on like 5 Nexus by the time he took his natural. So we know for a fact we've been mining more than him the entire game. So we've mined way more than what this difference is. Like, I would say we've probably mined the difference here like 5 times over in this graph, or like 6 times over in this graph at this point in the game now at 12 minutes. This is why this is so much more relevant, because it literally multiplies every minute. This represents once per minute, not the entire game. It's not like the entire game I've only mined 3,300 minerals. This is literally what I'm averaging every minute. I think a lot of people might not understand that concept about how the replay works. But this, again, it represents average every minute. This represents what has happened throughout the entire game. And people always fixate on this, thinking this is what's relevant because it's about your micro. And I know why it's a misconception. It's because whenever you watch tournaments or when you watch pro gamers, all you care about is their micro, because you don't even see their macro because they're so fast at it. I get it, but it's literally not how you learn how to play StarCraft. And now when we push this guy, let's see what it looks like finally when we attack him. What does our army look like when we go to attack his base? Here's our maxed out army, and remember what we said? He's probably going to be around 100 supply. When we get to 200, we get here, and what happens? We walk into his base, and he just gets fucking obliterated with just a couple units. The blob of Protoss cannot be stopped. And there we go. That's it, boys. That's all she wrote. Noise. Noise. What Vibe's trying to say is don't be that guy. Yeah, well, don't be the guy that, like, if you want to have fun, if you want to play StarCraft and all you want to do is have fun, if you don't care about how good or bad you are at the game, and you just want to play the game to have fun. Also, I was typing and I didn't mineral split. Shit. It's okay. I should have done that, but it's okay. If you just want to have fun and you don't care how good you are at this game, well, do whatever you want, right? By all means, whatever makes you happy. But if you want, if your idea of fun means that you want to get better at StarCraft, definitely focus on your macro. Definitely focus on your macro. It's gonna make a big world of difference. Super big world of difference.
You must construct additional pylons.
Winning is fun. Yeah, I think winning is fun as well, right? I think most people who are going to play StarCraft consistently are going to agree with you that they think winning is fun. Most people would agree with that statement. Stack this close patch right, or this far patch right there with 2. What's the patches look like? 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Every patch has 2. We're good. Who has fun losing? Well, I mean, what if someone was like, oh, I love going for Zergling builds. Every game. Okay, so look at this, right? We're getting attacked by some bullshit early here because this guy's hatchery is super late, and we saw he was going for a pool with Zerglings really early. So here's what we can do. Oops, send that probe back. So we see Zerglings coming, right? We see Lings coming. Let's go ahead and make a Zealot. Let's make a Zealot. Let's chrono boost out that Zealot. Here's a cool trick you can do, okay? Watch this. Let's make another gateway, because we're afraid of dying right now. This probe's trying to make it back into the base. And let's just make another pylon. Or actually, we can cancel it now just because our Zealot's out. So now let's make another pylon here. We were going to wall it off if the Zerglings got here too fast. So we just chrono boosted out a Zealot because we saw someone who was going for a 12 bull. Okay, let's make our guess. Again, we'll talk about the build in a second, okay? We'll talk about we'll actually break this build down a little bit because I know a lot of people are going to be confused as to like why we didn't just die right there because we went Nexus before Zealot. Okay. Let's make units. Let's make a warp gate upgrade. Let's go ahead and make a battery. Let's make like another pylon over here. Let's make another gateway the second that breaks. And have our stalker just move towards the Lings. Okay, he's in the mineral line. Let's move him with my probes. And then we're back to mining minerals again. Now go back to the doorway with our stalker. There's a lot of stuff we could have done with our Zealot in the doorway as well, like micring back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. But again, that's not what I want you to do in Gold League. That's a bit, it's a bit intense. Just get in the fucking door and sit there. And then just rebuild things that become macro problems as they happen. We'll talk about this game a lot when this game is over. Because this game actually is, I think this is one of those games where people would overcomplicate it so hard and die. Because they would try to do like all these fancy things and then they would just die for it. Yeah, let's go ahead and make our robo. Let's also make a hallucinated phoenix and let's scout the guy's base. Let's just see if he has a third base or not. Do you have a third base? Chrono boost our probes. Let's go take our own third base because we're fully saturated here. We're looking really good. I don't see a third there. Let's go ahead and start our third base. Make a pylon on the side of the Nexus. No third base there. Okay, so let's go into his other bases and let's find out what he's doing. Make probes in the meantime. We got double gas, lots of drones, layer, lots of drones. Cool. So now we know this guy. We just know he's got a lot of guys. He has as many drones as we have probes, right? We're comparing build to build. So after doing an early attack with Zerglings, we know he's gone into massive drones, so we know we're not going to die to some like attack right now. Excuse me. Jesus. We know there's no attack coming. Okay. So let's go ahead and add on more units. 4 or 5. Fix our gases here. Fix our gases there. Okay. Send a probe down to our third base. And now let's start adding on a little bit of a wall here to guard the side of the Nexus in case this guy attacks us. Okay, this is Zerg, right? It's Zerg. So we need a wall. That makes sense. Let's go ahead and chrono boost our Nexus. Camera hotkey, camera hotkey, camera hotkey. Shift chrono boost, all of them. We can also get our upgrades right now. Okay. Keep making units. Look at my Nexus. It's fully saturated, right? So let's go ahead and take another base. Also, meanwhile, we can take our gases. Take another base over here. Build a pylon. Let's build a... in a second here, let's build a Templar Archives. An Immortal. We can start a couple Stalkers first with some probes. Again, units take priority over upgrades right now. And the reason why we made our wall here faster than normal, I wouldn't wanted to have made this faster, but again, we're playing against Zerg guys, and Zerg is very capable of just running your fucking probes over if you don't cover your mineral lines with some type of a wall. That's why we prioritized the wall as well while we were getting probes there. Keep making probes, keep making Stalkers. Now we can do upgrades. We can start chrono boosting upgrades. Let's start getting pylons behind my mineral lines. Why am I doing this? What if this guy goes Mita? Okay, let's go try and defend that base. See if we can help it. Try and defend this base. We can start also making Archons. Transfer some probes over to the base we just defended. Make some Archons. Probe count currently is at 78. We're almost done. Let's make some more gateways over here in a second. We can make our final bit of probes here. Nice. Nice, dude. We're going to be there. We're going to be done now. Oh my god.
Why did you go production before 4th? Keep it up.
Because
series is awesome.
Because what I just said a second ago, the Zerglings could have killed our probes at our third base if we potentially didn't do that. And our opponent opened up with a Zergling attack. So if he wanted to follow up with more Zergling attack, it would have been scary, right? We also scouted his base and saw Lingbane. So, again, we're not trying to think too hard about it. I'm not trying to think too hard about it. It's just the fact of our opponent attacked us already in the early game. And if we just have a bunch of fucking probes sitting there with no defense, there's a good chance they could die super easy. Okay, we have more gates coming. Chrono booster upgrades. Take another Nexus again. Let's take it like up here or something. It's fine. And now we see a third base. Cool. Get upgrades. Okay, and we see more Zerg shit. It's all good. Look, you know, I see more Zerglings come out of his base. We see the Lurker den. It looks like he's gonna go Lurkers, obviously, but we don't fully know yet if it's gonna be ground or air. But I mean, it doesn't matter because now we're going Archons anyways, and Archons can kill air and ground alike. So it's all good. Let's make some more gateways. Start exploding our production a bit more because we have a lot of money that I'm having a hard time spending. This base is on its way. We could do the same thing we did before. We could do like a little bit of a pylon net. This will alert us once again if the Zerg attacks us further out across the map. It just gives us a little bit of a warning, essentially. Production value. We're almost there. We're almost where we want to be. Let's make like 4 more gates. Okay, let's make a few more Archons. And finally, now we're going to be maxed out. So keep chronomissing our upgrades. Good stuff. Transfer probes over there. It's all good. Make some Archons. And now let's go for an attack. Let's actually move our army to the front of the guy's 3rd base. Because that's again where it looks like we want to go take a fight. It's close to his base. Okay, so now we're kind of grouped up here. Let's group ourselves up. My army is... The final bits of my army are grouping up now. Now we're going to... We can do it off the minimap, right? Let's do it fast. A move, shift, A move, shift, A move. Grab my observers. Tell them to follow an immortal.
Hey VB.
Hi.
Thanks for your B2GM series and all of your great work. Got back to SC2 recently and just promoted to Plat. X Silver here. Love you.
Oh, nice, dude. Congratulations. Thank you very much, Erotim. GG. Congrats, dude. I'm happy for you. Well done on the promo. My man. My man. I'm glad you like the series, though, dude. Much love. Okay. Let's talk about the early game really fast, okay? Let's talk about the early game really fast. Let's actually try to start understanding our opponent more and more and more as the game goes, right? Let's understand our opponent. Okay, so we're scouting, right? We are scouting, we're scouting, we're scouting, we're scouting. Dun, 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 dun. We see, look what we see. We see a natural that just started. Okay. We see a natural that just started. It's all good. It's this is why, guys, this is exactly why. What would we do if this was Bronze League or Silver League, right? We would be like, okay, there's a natural there, so let's not make a battery. Let's just do the build as normal, right? We would just go, oh, he's got natural. We don't care anymore. We forget about it. And that would have been a problem for us. Because generally speaking, if a Zerg is going to go hatchery first, do you know what that means? Let me explain something really fast. If a Zerg goes hatchery first, take away the cost of the gateway. This is 150. He didn't, like, if the Zerg goes hatchery first, that means he's making it before a spawning pool. So take away the cost of a gateway. Take away the cost of a gas. Together with a gateway and a gas, that's 225 minerals, okay? 225 minerals equals a gateway and a gas. The pylon is standard because that's also like a Zerg making an overlord. So that's normal. That's fine. But think about this, okay? If the Zerg was supposed to go for a fucking hatchery first build, and just my gas and my gateway, which were made at the same time, if those were eliminated, all that we would have needed is 75 more minerals. And since we made the gateway and the gas, we have 225. We have way more than 75. Okay? We have way more than 75. What does that mean? It means that this Zerg had plenty of time to throw down a hatchery. If this Zerg was actually going hatchery first, and that was it, that would mean that this guy probably had about 500 minerals, and then he threw down a hatchery. That only costs 300, which would be really, really bad macro. Really bad macro. So, again, if this was silver or bronze, we wouldn't have cared. We would have just been like, cool, hatchery, let's leave. Bronze, we wouldn't even have scouted, period. But now that we're in Gold League, we're actually scouting the main base for an initial scout, and we're trying to make sense of things. So already, The fact that if we compare our build to the Zerg's build, this hatchery should honestly be about like right there. In terms of production, it should be right around there. Why should it be right around there? Because this is the difference of all that time that was extra money that was just not doing anything. This hatchery could have easily gone down a long time ago. It could have gone down like 4 seconds after I made my gas. And my gas was made 21 seconds ago, guys. So it could have gone down a long time ago. But yet it just started. It's not there. It's there. So this is fucking weird. This is definitely awkward. And if you actually understand that as a Protoss player, if you know how to read a build like this and you go, I'm comparing my timings to your timings and your timing does not look normal. It looks way off right now. Why is that? We scout the main and we figure it out. We go, okay, what's going on in the main base? I'm going to tell you guys something really fast. Whenever you see 3 eggs all at once like this, there's 2 ways to read Zerg, okay? This is going to be kind of advanced. This is going to be kind of advanced, and here's the thing, right? I honestly think that what I'm about to tell you, the fact I'm about to tell you, I bet there's even, if there's like a Masters Protoss in here listening to this right now, he probably doesn't even know this. Okay? Listen. Here's a cool tip I can tell you. How do I know that these eggs are already Zerglings without even knowing that they're Zerglings? One of the easy ways you could look at this and say that they're most likely Zerglings is you could say, well, Vibe, he's making 3 eggs at once. No one really does that. At most, it's usually 2 at once if you're making drones. Because you're making drones fast, and one drone will stack over another, but then drones will spawn fast enough to where you will have 3 at once. So this probably means he saved his larva for lings. Now, here's a thing that most players don't understand about Zerg, okay? But let me blow your mind for a fucking second. And let's see if you do this. Did you know that the closer the egg is to the hatchery, the more recent the larva was created from the hatchery? And the further away the egg is from the hatchery, the longer the larva has been sitting there, and it has actually gotten to a point where the larva has scurried around to the point where it goes further from the hatchery, and it ends up over here instead of right there. Because when you have eggs like this that are further from the hatchery, you can clearly tell that this larva that is now in this egg has probably been at the hatchery for about 15 to 20 seconds. This one that's further from the hatchery again has been out for probably 25 to 30 seconds. Larva has some RNG shit to it where it kind of roams around. It scurries around, as you can clearly see. Watch, if we go back now, watch this. Watch the larva, okay? Watch the larva. Watch how it moves around. It skitters around a lot. They move around. See how they move around? They always spawn on top of the hatchery. And as they scurry around, they tend to RNG further away from the hatchery. So I can fucking tell by how these larvae have scurried away from the hatchery like this, that these are probably not fucking drones. Again, that's advanced. That's not super low level information there. But, and again, larva is RNG. It doesn't always scurry away, but there's 0 chance a fresh larva can be away. The larva does not spawn right there, guys. Larva does not spawn right there. It doesn't. It always spawns on the hatchery, and it scurries around as it's alive. And the chances are, if you have an egg that's way fucking far away from the hatchery, that it's not actually a fresh, recent larva. So again, this means that these have been alive for a while. Okay. So now, seeing how these eggs are placed positionally, and the fact that there's 3 of them at once, I already fucking know this is Zerglings. I already know it's Zerglings. And now I scout and I confirm it, and I go, yep, it's a spawning pool. That's some Zergling shit right there. But here's the thing. Here is the thing, okay? Here's what happens. Also, he takes a gas as I leave. It's fine. His Zerglings are not already spawning and going to my base. He is not already going to my base with those lings. They're still in eggs. Okay? They're still in eggs. So because the lings are not already going down the ramp and headed to my base at this point, because he fucked his build up a little bit by also trying to conceal it with a hatchery. It threw the build off because that's too expensive to do that and also do this at the same time. You cannot go for a 12 pool and then a hatchery and then an overlord and then make lings on time. The reason why those lings are late is because he went for a pool and then a hatchery and then an overlord, and then he had to wait for money to then make his lings. Or he had to wait for money to make his overlord, which supply blocked him to then wait for the supply to make his lings. That's really what happened. So, yeah. We know that this is a fucking 12 pool. We know it's a 12 pool from Zerg because of this. But again, he's not attacking me yet. And here's the thing, right? Guys, I'm ready to build a Nexus right now. I am already ready to build a Nexus. And the Lings have not even come to his ramp yet. The Lings cannot cross the map in a matter of about 10 seconds. They physically can't do that. Now, here's the thing. If the Lings... Remember how I said if the Lings were like right there a little bit ago? What if they were like right here now? What if his Lings were already like on their way to my base? What if they were over here? This is very possible, by the way, if he didn't fuck his build up. The Lings could be much further out on the map than they are right now. Like at 124, realistically, at 124, the Lings could honestly be about right there. Like right here, going through the bushes. If he did a fast build. If he mineral stacked his patches, he built the pool ASAP, and then he made the larva and the Lings as soon as possible. If he did not mess the build up at all, he could literally be like right there, going through the bushes right now. And if he was already right there, I would fucking definitely not build a Nexus. I would instead build a core, build a second gateway, build a second pylon, chrono boost my first gateway with a zealot. Because I would die otherwise. But because this guy did a awkward build and I scouted it and I went, okay, well, your Lings aren't even coming to my base yet. I have the option to go because he's still in his base. He's still here. He hasn't left his base yet. I have the option now to go, how about I just build a Nexus and then a gate and a core and a zealot? Because by the time I do all of that, you still won't be here yet. Because these Lings are going to take about 40 seconds to cross the map. So look, count it right now. Watch. Look at this. Look at the Lings. Watch the timer. Okay, they just spawned. 129. Remember that. Because at around 2 minutes and 9 seconds is when we need to pay attention to this. They're going to take about 40 seconds to cross the map. This is most maps, by the way. Okay, so my probe also ended up sitting there. So this is again, this is advanced. This is advanced. This is a bit above Gold League. But here's what I did with the probe. I let my probe sit there at the Zerg's base because I wanted to see when the Lings would actually come out. Because what if he doesn't make Lings, period? What if no Lings come out of his base? And what if I can actually just cancel my Zealot and make a Stalker? Now, obviously, if this is Gold League, I probably would have just made the Zealot either way and said, fuck it. But if you think about it, what if he doesn't make Lings at all? And what if I get to a point where I can start making a Stalker and Lings still have not come out of his base? And then I go, all right, fuck it, let's just leave now. Because now I'm already making Stalkers and Immortals and Sentries, so now I really don't care. But I left the probe there just to see when Lings left his base, and Lings are leaving his base at like 137. And now I know I have a lot of time to react. And my probe is also trying to go home now. It's not trying to fight the Lings. It's just trying to go home. And look what I'm building. I already got my whole wall down. Right now. Here we go. Wall's down. And a Zealot's already being built, and his Lings are only right here. Remember what we talked about with the timer? It takes about 40 seconds to get across the map. 209. His Lings get to my wall. Okay, he also went down. His Lings would have been at my wall by about 206. Super close to 40 seconds. Not every map is identical. Every map is always somewhat different in some way or another, but usually somewhere around 40 seconds is pretty accurate for a slow Ling to go from popping out of the hatchery to getting up into your opponent's main base. Like into your opponent's base. It's really, 40 seconds is more main to main, to be fair. It's more like from here to here or some shit. So then naturally you take a few seconds off. It's fine. It's not a big deal. It's whatever. We don't have to be super specific. You guys get the point, though. The fact that I started the Nexus and he still hadn't even left his base yet, there's such a big amount of time for me to build shit now. Now, here's the thing. Even if I would have gone for a gate and a core first before Nexus, we still would have been okay. But I scouted and I went, okay, slow Lings, even though it's a speed Ling build, even though it's a build that has fast Zerglings, like, you're making them fast. It's a 12 pool. He still did not build them fast. And here's the thing too. I don't actually macro the Zealot. We're going to talk a lot more about Zergs who do this to us in Diamond Plus. We are not going to worry about it in Gold League. There's a lot of things we'll talk about with microing your Zealots, and again, we'll get to that when we get to that. Let's not talk about it right now because it's not appropriate for gold players to be doing that. So we let him beat the shit out of our gateway. It's all good. And all we're doing right now is we're making units, and we're building probes, and we're chronoboosting our probes. Let's make a battery, another pylon. We rebuild the gateway the second it dies. That way he can't flood me if he even tries. And the flood would run back into the Zealot again. And the Stalker just handles the Lings with probes helping. And we're back to mining properly. Easy peasy. And then now from here, again, the game just turns into a standard game of ZVP, right? Standard game is EVP. We just go into the standard style of what we do. But that's ideally how we're dealing with a Zerg player who is doing an early attack. Early, all-in, harass, whatever. And now here we go with the efficiency, right? Efficiency! Our opponent attacks us with a lot of Baneling, Zergling. It doesn't really do a whole lot to our Stalkers. Behind this, he's trying to make lurkers, and ultimately there's just not enough supply for Zerg. Again, for two reasons. Number one, there's not a mineral focus here, there's a gas focus. And number two, he's also making it way too much static D. He's making way too much static defense. Way too fast. He can't afford it. So there's not enough economy for Zerg, so that's why he's so far behind. And then as we get here, this is what the fight looks like. But simply due to macro of Protoss. And again, this is a lead up of all the things we've talked about over the league so far.
Vibe the final boss.
Yo, DLK, thank you for the 100 bits. It was like 20 Lings and like 12 Banelings, right?
Oh, yeah.
Also, yeah, people on Twitch chat, guys, I don't want to use a webcam right now because I don't really feel great right now. And I have a tissue shoved in my nose. And I don't really feel like having that be on camera. Yeah, it's all good. No big deal. I'm still here. It's still me. It's still vibe. I'm just not on camera. It's all G. Yeah, there we go. Boom. Dead Zerg. Nice, man. Burry, thank you for the BRY. Bry. Thank you for the Prime, dude. What's up? Much love. Appreciate the support. Make a probe, split a probe, rally the probe up here. It's a Zerg, rally it here actually for the pylon placement. Get a probe on a close patch. Get another probe on a close patch. Now we've stacked all close patches already. Rally our Nexus back to a far patch. Build our pylon and wait to build our gateway.
Oh, yeah.
Holy shit.
Construct additional pylons.
That's funny. Yeah, let's go scout his base. Chrono boost our Nexus. Build our gas. Stack another close patch. Or a far patch, rather. We're only missing one probe here on this patch because it's the only one with one left. Let's make sure we don't mess it up. Fix it. And now all patches are good. Cool. Now we have a perfect mineral line. Let's not ever disrupt it again. Try to leave it perfect as long as possible. Notice how much further along his hatchery is, guys? This is hatchery first. I can tell because of how early it is. I already know it's not an early pool. And there you go. There's a later pool and a gas. We confirmed it. Okay, the probe's gonna die. We'll talk about how to not let that happen in the future. Let's build our Nexus. And let's build our Cyber Core. And then eventually our other gateway. Build our gas. Make sure you re-rally your Nexus to the assimilator and not leave it on the old gas. If you have your probe, if you rally a Nexus to a gas like this, and then you build a Nexus on top of it, and you don't re-rally the Nexus to the assimilator and not leave it on the Vespene geyser itself, your probes don't actually mine your gas. They just sit next to it and just sit there, because they're being told to walk to where the gas is, not mine it. They can't mine this. They can only walk to that. So you have to re-rally on the building itself, because they can actually mine that. Excuse me. Sorry. Okay. Let's go ahead and build a sentry. Let's now build a second gateway and a robo. Grab these buildings, add them into group 4, put our stalker in our doorway, and we're good to go. And we're good to go. Gonna boost our probes. Make another stalker. Make some more pylons. Maybe make like one more pylon up here. So again, we have vision of our base. You don't really know what your opponents are capable of. Some people love to Nidus you. You don't know that. Some people like to do weird drops. All these weird kind of things all the time. Area mutas fly in faster. We're gonna put a couple pylons around our base. So not only can we build buildings at them later, but we can also not supply block, and we can also see our base more. So it's not like, fuck, I heard a scream. Where is the Nidus? Oh, it's in my main base. Ah, damn it. We don't want that to happen. Okay. Let's mine the minerals here. Hold shift. Move our probe to the 3rd. This way we can walk through the stalker with mineral pathing and try to build our Nexus at our 3rd, because we're fully saturated, so we want to build it. Okay. Nice. Let's build our gases. Build stalkers. Let's go ahead and keep chrono boosting our probes. Build another immortal. Let's send out a hallucinated phoenix right now really fast. Let's check the right side of the map really quick. Again, we're looking for bases. I mean, once we see like a Zerg area, we can check composition. Like ground or air, what is he doing? Fix our gases. Send over a couple probes to this base. Start warping in more stalkers. We can start our upgrades. Now that this 3rd base is going to start having a lot of saturation at it, we can start our upgrade buildings, so we can get a council, forge, and another forge. Okay, what's engaging me? A queen, drones. What's over here? Okay. You can see nothing really. We saw a hydrogen, but yeah. We're going to just continue to build as normal at this point. We're not going to freak out. Nothing's going to deviate because it looks standard from Zerg to a degree. Like, nothing looks out of the ordinary. Let's go ahead and add on our gateways here to cover the probes. And again, people might be asking, Vibe, why, again, last game did you go for gateways before your upgrades? And why did you do upgrades first this game and then go for the gateways after? The Zerg this game did not attack me with lings, so I felt less threatened. But I still got these relatively early either way. It's not like I didn't do it at all. It's just I prioritized upgrades first because the Zerg seemed less threatening, less aggressive. Hey, let's start upgrading, chrono boosting our upgrades. Let's take another base. Take our Nexus. Build a couple pylons. Take our gases now. Also, we never built a pylon here. This is kind of bad. We need to build a pylon there really badly. But like 2 pylons, like one there and one there or something. And maybe like one there. Cover our base with some pylon fields so I can actually see shit. Okay, now we can start making Archons and Zealots. Because now we have Charge Lots and Archons ready to go. So now let's start getting out of Stalkers and going into Charge Lot Archon. Okay. Transfer some probes over off this base to the new base. So now we're good. We're good. We're good. Or wait, there we go. We're good. Camera hockey. There we go. Let's take our sentry and send out something on the left side now. Again, we're looking for expansions of Zerg. And we can even do another one because we haven't done it for a long time. Let's send another one on the right side. So we're doing 2 at once. Where are this Zerg's bases located? Probe count is almost done. There's a base. Cool. Lots of money for Zerg. Let's start. Actually, also, let's do it ourselves too. Let's start increasing our income too. What's there? Queens. There's roaches. Okay, so he's going ground. We've confirmed it's ground, guys. I saw a roach. We saw roaches and stuff like that. Cool beans. So I'll make more gateways. Or we're doing everything we're doing normally, anyways. But now at least we know what he's going for. We're not confused about composition anymore. So now we can be sure that we can be like, cool, we're happy with our Zealots and our Archons now, because it's ground. Let's transfer some probes off to the new base. We're at 85 probes. We can take our gases. Also, we're fully saturated. Let's go take another base. Current gateway count is at 19. Let's add 1 more gateway and we're good to go. We're good. Transfer some probes. Okay. Make a nexus here with a couple more pylons. Chrono booster upgrades. We can send out another hallucinated phoenix this time. Once again, let's go maybe on the right side because we know where his bases are on the left. Let's check the right, see if he's took a base there. Okay, he's attacking my base. So, let's go take another base somewhere else now. It's all good. And let's go fight whatever's happening over there now. Let's take a lot more units. Warp in a bunch of Archons. And now let's A-move the area with our army. Just A-move the area. Okay. So there's no... It looked like there was no bases on the right side. I didn't see any, at least. Right? So, Chrono Booster upgrades. Fix our economy. Fix our economy. Economy's good. Send some economy down there. And because we needed to expand again, let's expand. Let's just take another base again. Fuck it. Give our money a lot of room to grow here.
Been a while since I made you suffer through a replay, Vibu Daddy.
Thank you, Koopa. We'll talk about it after, for sure. Okay, so let's go ahead and A-move here. A-move here. A-move here. A-move here. Grab my observer. Follow my immortal. So it doesn't fly into random spore crawlers and die. Meanwhile, what are we doing behind this? Fixing my economy and making army, right? So let's make army and let's fix economy. Okay, let's start making a bunch of Archons. And there we go. We spent all of our gas. We're also supply blocked. Lots of Archons. And Chrono Booster upgrades. Chrono Booster Immortals. Chrono Booster upgrades. Make some Zealots. Chrono Booster other upgrade. Awesome. Everything's being chronoed. Economy good. Economy good. Economy good. Every economy's looking pretty good. Pretty good. We're happy, 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 happy. Everyone's happy with the economy. Okay, Zerg is now attacking our bottom right base. So, we can now A-move the bottom right. If we wanted to, we could go up here and grab this and re-A-move his base on the top. But fuck it, we're just gonna worry about this first. We're not gonna make this too confusing. Let's just defend this base really fast. Back up to 85 probes. Now we've defended the base properly. Let's just go ahead and reinitiate a fight. Let's get our army grouped up just outside of his base. Get it grouped up. Wait for this army to group up with this army right here. It's a big army. There's 2 halves of my army right there. Meanwhile, we can chrono boost immortals and upgrades. Now we're grouped up. A move, shift, and we can do off the minimap as well. A move, A move. Grab our observer. Tell it to follow an immortal. So it does not, again, fly into random spores if he has any. I have no idea. And if it does, it's not going to be like, oh, there's an observer. Let's not kill it. It's definitely going to kill it. GG. Chrono boost our upgrades. Make some zealots again.
Unacceptable command.
And yeah, we're now checking bases, right? Check base. Check base. Check base. Much love, dude. Thank you, syringe. Hell yeah. Take our gases. And we're happy, happy, happy. We're happy as a clam, guys. Oh my god. So again, now if we go back, times this shit on like 8. We'll go through it quickly. Just again, look at supply, right? Look at efficiency. Look at supply. As long as we're always trying to put, again, don't even always do this. Literally, you know what you need to be, you know what you need to be doing as well. Don't always fixate. Like let's do I'm doing an example this game, okay? Let's do an example. Let's write this down. All right, what was I at 3 minutes? Okay, let's get our notepad out, our handy dandy notepad. We're gonna try and test ourselves really fast. Okay, so at 3 minutes in this game, at 3 minutes, I was at 28 probes and 34 supply. Sick. Give myself a checkpoint to try and overcome. So let's times 8 this. Okay. Game is going forward again. Our supply is looking smooth as butter. Now check this out. 5 minutes. Okay, let's now see 5 minutes. We're now at 47 probes and 72 supply. Sick. Okay, let's go forward again. Give yourself goals to overcome. Push yourself to macro better. Okay, now it's 7 minutes. We're at 66. This is 66 probes and 108 supply. Sick. Now we'll look at 9 minutes. The Zerg is making supply just like we are. He's doing a good job at it. He's almost maxed than we are as well. And now like 9 minutes. 9 minutes. We're at 85 probes and 172 supply. Again, it doesn't have to be super crazy. Now that's it, right? Now we're good. I just use these as checkpoints. I don't gotta write down any more than that. That's all I want to know. How am I gonna fare next game I play to this? Am I gonna do better? Am I gonna do worse? This is really telling you if you're playing better or worse. But now here we go. Here's what the fight looked like. This is what the fight ultimately turned into when we were both maxed out versus each other, essentially. Like he's ahead by 6 supply because we're supply blocked because he killed my Nexus over here. But it's not a big deal. It's just 6 supply. It's not the end of the world. It's like 3 zealots. And this is actually huge. A lot more roaches than 3 roaches are dying there. That was definitely a nice little free kills there. He killed some of my zealots too. We kind of evened out for a little bit. Now we're attacking his base. Some of our army's getting caught out and dying. His base is also dying at the same time. And this is that moment where the Zerg player, or not even Zerg, your opponent, even though they might do okay in a fight, if they start getting behind, it becomes a problem. Okay. And then, yep. The counterattack got cleaned up. And now it's a situation where Zerg just doesn't have enough, right? And Zerg just lost 2 of his expansions. And half of his drones died. many drones are still? How many drones actually died? 42 drones died. So that's brutal. So now the Zerg is just on a point where he's like in the back foot and he'll never get out of it. He's super dead. So this was, I would say, for us, it was one of those games where it was like, nice, we hit the thresholds we were looking for. That felt clean. It felt good. It felt like we were playing good that game. I felt like we were playing solid. And again, am I gonna have this notepad open while I'm playing this next game? No, I'm not gonna have it open. But am I gonna compare it to it when the game's over? Yeah, sure, why not? Let's test myself. Let's see if I can macro better or worse. Because again, this is actually telling you if you're getting better at StarCraft, not winning or losing a game of StarCraft. Also, just know if you do something like this, just know that this only makes sense if both games you don't get attacked. If like one game you're comparing a game where like you were able to be fully greedy and you never got attacked, and you're comparing it to a game where you got all in and he was attacking you and he killed like 70 probes in the first 7 minutes, it's not the same thing. You can't really compare those because the guy's all in you. Then it's just, can I win the game there as a player? Because you want to, you know, not die to aggression. Okay, so let's stack our close batches. Stack our close batches. What race is this guy? It's another Zerg player. Okay, let's grab a probe and go down to our natural. I kind of forgot to send a probe. It's okay. Let's build our pylon. Okay, all our close batches are already stacked with 2 probes each. Nice, nice, nice. Gives us a little bit more money to make all our stuff with and not have a problem with our income.
You must construct additional pylons.
Okay, let's go ahead and build a gateway. Let's scout down towards his base, chrono boost our nexus, make a gas, and try to stack 2 per patch right now while our probe goes down to his base. Try to fix anyone that gets fucked up. Try your best to not... Again, this requires accurate clicking, right? You're practicing accurate clicking. 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. We're good. Once you can eyeball it, it's nice. Look at that hatchery. Yep, hatchery first. We can clearly tell it's hatchery first. Okay, we're going to rally our nexus down to our natural because it's at 19, and this means we're going to have around 400 minerals when we want to build our nexus. Cancel one of those probes. There's the pool, and we're happy, right? We're not getting attacked by some shit. We're okay. Yeah, let's go ahead and build our core. Spread it by 1. We forgot to re-rally the nexus. It's okay. And yeah, we're good. We don't need to scout anymore. Awesome. Build our gas and our pylon. Re-rally the probe onto this assimilator. Re-rally the nexus onto the assimilator. Okay, and now our gas is going to be 3 out of 3 right as this probe finishes. Boom. There we go. And now we can chrono boost our nexus.
Keep building probes, boys.
And saturate our natural. Meanwhile, we can take a stalker and a warp gate upgrade. And am I freaking out? Am I building a 3rd gateway here really fast right now? No, because this guy didn't go pool first. He went hatchery first and do a normal pool timing. So there's no lings that are going to be flooding my base right now. Chrono boost probes. Chrono boost probes. Look, 2 lings showed up. 4 lings showed up. Am I afraid of that? Not so much. I don't care. Now I can build my gateway.
A great meme who will be remembered by the community for a long time for his contribution. Smile.
Okay. So my stalker died. Let's go ahead and build our robo. So this Zerg player actually did make a lot of lings. You know, at the end of it there. Let's go ahead and make another stalker. Okay, we can, if we need to, we can always pull my probes. It's okay. Just because we're getting attacked as well now, we can just be like, cool, how about we just make a battery? Let's make a battery like right here. Am I freaking out and reacting to this? Am I microing right now? No. I'm not freaking out. You know what I'm going to do instead of freaking out? I'm going to take a fucking 3rd base. Why? Because I'm not going to allow this to disrupt my macro. Am I still freaking out? No. I don't give a fuck, guys. Let's take a third. Build a pylon, build a pylon. Let's build an immortal. Let's build another gateway where that gateway died. Let's build another stalker. Or I'm actually supply blocked. I need to build a pylon. Okay, let's put my stalker in my doorway and leave it on like hold position. Okay. Build a stalker. Let's build our gases at our natural. Let's build a couple more pylons in our main base so we can get rid of the fog of war in my main base. There's a Zergling hiding in the side of my main base. That's awesome. Let's make another immortal. Get it near the wall. Okay, let's go ahead and throw down our tech, our double forages, and our council. Notice how we haven't panicked yet. Now we want to saturate our third. Let's go ahead and go to our third base and go defend it. Hey, get off my third. I would like to have my third, please. Thank you very much. Take a couple probes and saturate my third. Let's get ready to build some gateway action. Bring these guys back so they don't just run out and die. Put a new unit in my doorway so it's not just open. And keep making probes. Making chronoboost probes right now. Chronoboost probe, chronoboost probe, chronoboost probe. Okay, we can make some more stalkers. We can start making some gateways over here. I need another pylon actually. Don't let my units run out and die. You could also be like this. Hey, this guy's really aggressive.
Sorry.
Let's make another battery. Oh my god. Get our upgrades, get our charge, get Archon tech. Make another sentry so I can actually scout his base because our sentry died earlier. I don't know if this guy's gonna go air or not. He hasn't showed me anything really. Let's go ahead and try to throw down a fourth nexus. Okay. Yeah, throw down another nexus. We can also just overcharge our battery because we're getting attacked. Make another nexus. Make a couple pylons at it.
I was
Grab my
wondering
army
what
and
was a
send them
foot.
back.
It was Protoss. Good luck on the series. Which two ancient Greek philosophers had the nicest feet? Plato and Socrates.
Socrates? He doesn't say it right. Damn bot. Okay, so now let's scout his base. How many bases is this Zerg player on? Scout the right side of the map. Scout the right side of the map first. Okay, now what are we going to do now, guys? Let's start making Archons and Zealots because now our upgrades are getting real. Now our upgrades are getting fucking serious. So let's actually make maybe like another few gateways here in the main base. Let's make like 4 more gates, or 5. That way I can actually spend it. Okay, we just ran over Hydras. He's making Hydras. He's committing to ground. Cool. That's totally fine. Let's make another Robo while we're at it. Maybe like 2 more gates or something. We have a lot of money. I can't actually spend my money. Okay, we're gonna boost my upgrades. Keep making probes for this base. We're actually not done making probes yet. We're getting really close though. Transfer some probes. Grab all these gates we just made and the Robo. Let's make some more Archon, some more Zealot. Kill these guys over here. Hey, stop it. Okay, let's hallucinate another Phoenix and let's scout the left side of the map this time. How many bases do you have on the left side? How many bases you got, dude? Make a couple of Immortals. Get our upgrades again. Notice how, like, we didn't freak out once this game and all this Zerg has done is killed himself on me. Okay, let's now A-move this area. Keep making probes. Do I give a shit? Look at what this guy's doing. He's attacking me constantly, right? So let's do this. This Zerg is all about constantly just counterattacking my base. He loves attacking. So let's go like this. Cannon, cannon, battery. At every base. Cannon, cannon, battery at every base. And finally, this last base, let's make let's make a couple archons while we're waiting for you know, resources. And at this final base, let's make cannon battery. And then as soon as we make cannon battery, let's attack. Let's move out. Or no, sorry, no, we're not maxed out yet. Let's not move out. What am I talking about? Let's expand again is what we're gonna do. So cannon battery. Now let's go set up another expansion. And check my bases, right? 4 over here. That base is good. That base is good. This base needs some probes. Make up more pylons somewhere else that I can actually like use them. Cool. Make a couple of gases here. Let's expand again right here. Okay, we can't. Now we need to send our archons up there to go help that because the space has cannon battery and we're fine. Chrono boost my upgrades. Also chrono boost our robos. Why not? Let's go ahead and look what he's doing, guys. He's fucking attacking my base again, right? This guy's all about killing my base, counterattacking me over and over and over. Cannon battery suddenly seems like an amazing genius idea. This guy shows us he's an aggressive player. We treat him like an aggressive player. Okay. Maybe we can warp in, or we overcharge our battery here. This cannon might actually die. Let's build a new cannon. Let's go ahead and also saturate our gases properly. We need more fucking supply. Hurry up with the pylons.
Mineral field depleted.
Okay, let's go ahead and make cannon battery at this base. Transfer some probes that are oversaturated. Good. Let's send them over here to the new base. Let's make another round of units, and we're maxed out. Now let's go to the right side of the map. Our army's already grouped up, so let's just go like this. A move, shift A move, shift A move, shift A move. All on a big fucking line down the right side of the map. And do I have any observers? I actually don't have any observers, so that's kind of a problem. If my army happens to die, maybe it's because we ran into lurkers, but it's okay. Let's not wait for an observer. Let's just go, because we don't want to waste a bunch of time doing nothing. And he has lurkers, guys. But guess what? We do have cannons at every base. Let's also go ahead now and make a dark shrine, because what if this turns into a base trade? DTs are super good at dealing with that. Okay, so there's a lurker there, right? If there's lurkers there, and I can see one, let's make a couple stalkers. What's going on here? The whole base is dying. Okay, guess what we're going to do? We're going to rebuild a base. New base on the other side of the map. Rally all my probes over there. Let's make some new pylons. So, because again, I'm losing bases at the same time, so I don't want to supply block forever. We can make another pylon over here. Okay. Transfer some probes. Probe count currently is at, and he just literally died. He didn't leave the game, he was killed. All of his buildings died. So we're at 59 probes. That's not great, right? We would definitely want to make some more probes. We just lost a ton of probes. So we would keep making probes. We don't want to stop this game at 50 probes. We definitely want to go back up again if we can. And you want to know something really cool too? Look how this guy was, or he actually has overseers here. So DTs wouldn't have been the greatest idea to fight this, but notice how this doesn't have any overseer. Suddenly I make one Dark Templar and one Observer kill all these lurkers. But now look, right? Did we panic at all once this entire game? No. Why did we not panic? Because our opponent was basically playing StarCraft 2. Like, imagine this, okay? Imagine you're in a zombie apocalypse. And you have a sword. And you're not really sure how to handle zombies yet, so you're scared. And you just hold your sword out. You hold your fucking sword out forward, and the zombie literally impales his chest on it. And then he grabs your sword, and he pulls himself closer and closer to you, because he's trying to bite you. That's all he wants to do, is he wants to bite you. And he's like ripping a sword through his chest the whole way there to get there. That's kind of this kind of a playstyle right here. That's this kind of a playstyle. It's a playstyle where you watch your opponent literally kill themselves the entire game. It's just how it goes. Like, people who play overly aggressive non-stop while you just out-macro them, they get to a point where they eventually can't handle what you're doing anymore, and they just die. Now, some players who get really good at being aggressive and like preserving their units, they're good at multitasking and like micromanaging their shit. Suddenly, that's a whole different story. That happens once you're actually in Diamond Plus. That does not happen in Platinum and below, as we've said 5 million times already. It doesn't. That's some Lord of the Rings shit. Yeah, right? It's like that orc that who fucking impaled him? The guy who was the dad in Game of Thrones. What's his name? I can't remember, like Jim Bean or some shit. I can't remember his name. You guys know what I'm talking about. It's not, I don't think it's Jim Bean. It's something. You know exactly what I'm talking about though. This is like a style where you just kill yourself on your opponent. Now again, there's so many things we could have done with this Stalker. We could have micromanaged it. We could have moved it to the mineral line. We could have had our probes help. So many things we could have done, and we did nothing. We just let it die. But how did it die? It died while killing shit. It's all good. What did we focus on? Building a gateway. We focused on building a gateway. That's all we did. And now we built our robo. Boromir. Yeah, it was Boromir. Sean Bean. There you go. That's what his name is. See how much this guy is microing right now with his lings? He's like poking back and forth with his lings, trying to like attack my probes and shit. And I'm just sitting here letting shit just be fucking made. Now let's take a quick look at it, okay? Remember guys, let's go back for a second. Now remember how I said that this little like notepad thing doesn't really make sense if you're getting attacked? Well, look, check this out. Look at this. Even though at 3 minutes, check this out. Even though we're at 3 minutes, in the last game, I only had 28 probes and 34 supply. Look at this game. I got fucking 30 probes and 36 supply. I'm actually ahead by 2 supply in probes. Same supply overall. And look at this. I've even lost... Or no, just kidding. Sorry, my Stalker hasn't died yet. But now it's going to die, so now it throws it off. So yeah, I mean, up to that point where before my Stalker died, we're good. It wasn't Boromir. Was it Aragorn? I don't fucking know, dude. I don't remember. I haven't watched that movie in a long time. But it was a really good movie. And then, dude, yeah, like, look at this. We're losing units. Who gives a fuck? We're making more. Look at this income. I'm already crushing Zerg in income. And all I do is I keep rebuilding the wall. This is the fucking Night's Watch right here, guys. I gotta watch that movie again. I can't remember. No vibe. The guy who killed the orc like that was Axel. It was Axel. Okay. Makes sense. My name is Jeff. So stupid, dude. And there you go, dude. Look at that. The Zerg actually has caught up to us. He's actually caught up to us in probes to drones. And we're still holding a bit of a worker lead. But here he comes again with another attack, right? Lots of aggression from Zerg. And you guys remember what we've said? I don't know if I said this in the Protoss series or how many times I've said it in the Protoss series. But just so you guys know, Zerg can make workers the fastest. Protoss can make workers the second fastest. And Terran can make workers the slowest out of all 3 races. And if Protoss beats Zerg in worker creation, it means you're doing a fucking really good job. As long as you don't die, obviously. But it means that if you can actually build more probes than Zerg has in drones, and it actually stabilizes the game, you've done an amazing job for whatever reason that has happened in the game. And it's because this Zerg player is throwing away all these potential drones that could have been drones into lings, and he's just attacking constantly with it. But now look at that, dude. Why do I have such a big lead now? It's because my Zerg opponent is now flooding me with lings at this point. Right now he has 28 lings on the field. That could have been fucking 19 or no, sorry, 14 drones. That could have been 14 fucking drones, guys. 14 drones right there. That's a lot of drones. Look at the difference of workers right here. What if he had 14 more drones? He'd have 61. He'd be super close to me. And look, he's still flooding me, right? He's doing that thing where people just go into this all-in mindset where they're like, I have to win. 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 I don't know what to do anymore. I'm just in this weird moment where I'm just going to mass units for a long time on a unsaturated, inoptimal mineral line, an inoptimal mineral line, an inoptimal mineral line. Every base he has is inoptimal by a little bit. Not ideal. He's also spreading 0 creep. This gives the Zerg 0 chance to have a decent mid game because he's fully focused on all-inning me. Did he replug the wall? I did replug the wall. All I did, when I moved my army down to defend my third base, my next immortal that spawned, I told it to hold position in the wall. And then all these other immortals that are spawning are just sitting here because they can't leave my base. So there we go. We're getting attacked again, right? Big flood. Like, look at this, dude. This game is starting to get like ridiculously in our favor now. Our opponent is just not macroing while he attacks us. He's not injecting his hatcheries. And he also needs to expand more, and he's not doing that either. This is the kind of shit that I don't want you guys to do, right? This is where inefficient, panicky play is happening. And the reason why he's doing this, you want to know, can I tell you guys the whole reason why this Zerg is doing this? It's because he killed my first stalker. I'm dead serious. If I could go back and interview numbers after this game, and numbers, if you're here listening to the stream right now, don't take offense to this, obviously. Not meant to be mean in any way. It's just, I feel like this is how people think about StarCraft. If I were to be able to ask numbers, okay, why did you do the build that you did? It would probably be something like this. Well, normally what I do against Protoss is I like to go for a Ling Hydra style into lurkers. And that's how I normally play. But when I saw that this Protoss player didn't know how to micro and he lost his first stalker to my Lings, I saw an opportunity to kill him right there. So I just wanted to keep making Lings, and then I made Lings, and then he didn't actually die, so I made some drones. But then when I saw how greedy his third was, I was like, that's not fair. That should never happen. So then I made Lings again. But then his third didn't die. So then I was put in this weird position of like feeling like I had to make Lings all game with Hydras and some lurkers. But every time I attacked the Protoss, it felt like the Protoss just had like way too much stuff. Okay. You know, it's like, okay, so your whole strategy was triggered off of the fact that you killed the first stalker. So you just started making mass fucking Lings. That's how a lot of people play the game. They jump the gun and they get ahead of themselves and they're like, I gotta do it now. When in reality, all that is you're putting yourself into an all-in that doesn't necessarily need to happen. There's no reason you need to all-in me right now. Because by the time you make those Lings and attack me with those Lings, you don't, like for instance, you don't kill the stalker and then react by going, oh, well, now I'm going to make Lings. And when you start making Lings, all the Lings just immediately spawn in my base like they're warped in Zerglings. It doesn't work like that, right? If you kill my stalker and go, okay, well, now I'm going to react by making Lings. Well, you got to, maybe you have to wait an extra like 7 seconds for your larva inject to pop off. And then you got to wait 17 seconds for your Lings to be built. And then you got to wait 25 seconds or so for speedlings to cross the map, or like 20 seconds for speedlings to cross the map. And then finally you're here at my base after you killed the stalker with a new wave of Lings, like 40 seconds later. Right? Which is way after the fact that I'll have more units again. So now your next wave of Lings is encountering Immortal Stalker or whatever. So it doesn't really work like that. The only way you would kill me if you killed the Stalker is if you did a premeditated mass ling flood from the beginning before you knew if or if not you were going to kill that Stalker. Like you already had 40 lings over here because you only had like 16 drones instead of like 29 drones, and now you're starting to make lings. This is where a lot of players don't realize the game is different. If you're going to do it all in like that at higher levels, when players can play efficient, you need to like be doing it from the beginning of the game and not just transition into it later, because it will never work if you do it like that. What do you do to make sure the Immortals don't get blown up? I don't give a shit. If my Immortals die, they die. I just don't. I don't spread my army out. I don't have like my army scattered everywhere. I keep my one army clumped here, in front of my third base, and then something in my doorway at my natural. That's all I'm doing. And now that this guy is constantly aggressive every fucking second of the game, I'm just gonna make cannon battery at every base because he's all about counterattacking my base constantly. Because again, why is he all about that? Because he's all in, guys. This guy is not making drones at all. He is sitting on 40 drones for the last like 5 minutes of this game. And look, the second I leave this base, what does he do? He counterattacks it with more lings again. This is why his supply is so low compared to ours, because he keeps making units and throwing them away in the garbage can. And now what happens when we decide to attack him? He counterattacks us. He legit full-on counterattacks our base. He burrows lurkers at my third. He attacks my left side with lurkers and hydras. Am I freaking out? Am I chasing Zerg all day? No, I'm just going to let my army go run his base over. Meanwhile, I'll try to like make a defense somewhere else. I'll expand elsewhere. I'll take other bases. Like that, and so on and so on. I have new observers being made. I have more units being made that can defend myself. My Dark Shrine's on the way. And then the Zerg literally just dies, right? How we talked about before. So, that one was an example of my opponent literally kind of just killing himself on me. He was way too aggressive. Way too aggressive? He beats you in fun, though. Hey, you know what? Again, if you guys want to play for fun and you want to do whatever you think is fun, that's great. Have fun. I don't mind. Winning and losing doesn't actually apply to some people for fun. And if that's not you, that's all good. I have nothing against someone who loses games for fun. If that's actually what you enjoy. If you enjoy playing styles that you think are fun, but it makes you lose a lot more, I can't stop you. I'm not being sarcastic either. I think as long as you're having fun, that's really all that matters. But some people, fun means you're winning games. So if your idea of fun is winning and getting better, then yeah, you definitely should try to play efficient. Because you won't win if you don't play efficient.
You must construct additional pylons.
Yeah, let's scout this guy's base. See what he's doing. Let's also take our gas. And stack our close patches. Or stack our single probe patches, rather. Try really hard to fix it. Lots of mouse clicking going on here. Trying to fix all the stupid probes for a second. The AI was a bit derpy right there. But we fixed it. Now let's go ahead and rally our Nexus down at 19. And as soon as we hear the probe noise, look at that. Look at the hatchery. It's good. It's hatchery first. When we hear the probe noise, we can re-rally to the gas now. So probe and go to gas. Cool. There's the pool and the gas follow-up. So we know these lings are not coming anytime soon. Are we going to freak out? No. I don't give a shit. I am not intimidated at all by this guy's build right now. Not intimidated one bit. Let's go ahead and build our gas.
You have not enough minerals.
Camera hockey, our Nexus. Let's build a pylon. And yeah, we're chilling. We are chilling, guys. We're just waiting for things to develop now, like normal. When this pylon finishes, we're going to chrono boost our Nexus. That way we don't supply block for too long, or at all. There we go. Now we chrono boost the Nexus. This probe pops out, it goes into that gas, and we go down here with our new probes from our Nexus. We can make our Stalker and our Warp Gate upgrade. Let's go ahead and make our sentry second. Keep chrono boosting out probes. Now we're getting enough money to build our robo and our second gateway, so let's go ahead and do that. The stalker's now in hold position in the doorway. We just made our robo. Or sorry, we just made our gateway, now we make our robo. Cool. So this guy did the same thing as last guy with a little bit of a Ling Scout, but this guy happened to attack my base a little bit later and he missed the timing to kill me. The last guy was already in my base as my stalker popped out because he did it really fast and he sacrificed drones to do that. So I can already tell as a tendency of a player, this guy is already less aggressive than my last opponent. Does it mean he's not going to all in me? No, not necessarily. It just means that, in theory, this guy is probably going to be less aggressive because he didn't overcommit to the Lings as fast as the last guy did. He's already invested less in their aggression than my last opponent did. So it's a way you can read your opponent. It's like playing poker. You can read people. You can start picking up on tells with how people use their units. And this guy's not nearly as aggressive as the last guy. I really wish somebody would cannon rush you vibe. I want to see how to beat it. I have been cannon rushed already in like silver and bronze. Definitely go check out those videos. It's already happened. If you want to see me defend a cannon rush, it's already happened many times. Everything is recorded, guys. It's all on YouTube. If you want to see it live, if you don't catch something live, there's a lot of content already posted that was formerly live. Okay, let's go ahead and scout this guy's bases. Let's scout the right side first. Fuck it. We'll just pick a side and go. We'll scout left side second because we went right side first. Get another immortal. Gonna boost my my probes. Transfer probes to that gas. Now we're getting probes on the third base. Let's go ahead and start our upgrades, and then we'll start our production after our other gateways and stuff after. Trying to boost our dudes again. Okay, what killed me? I see a hydrogen. Okay. I don't know what killed me, but I see a hydrogen, so it looks like it might be ground again. Which is totally fine. I don't mind that. It's not like it can't be ground. It's all good. Okay, we're still building on the robo. We're still building on our gateways. We can now build a couple of gateways over here to cover this nexus properly. Okay, we just added some gateways to the side of the mineral line and covering a little bit of the nexus, so now it's a bit more protected. Let's go ahead and get our upgrades, get charge. Let's get a Templar archive so we can start making zealots and archons. Okay, let's make a couple of zealots. Let's make another pylon over here, like in my main base. Again, a couple more pylons for building room and also vision of base. And maybe now as well, let's go set up another nexus. Let's actually choose. You know what? Let's fucking choose this nexus this time. Let's do this one down here. We'll go the other way. It's totally fine. Not a big deal. We'll worry about positioning of how we expand as we get better at learning how to use compositions correctly and how that makes sense. But again, right now that's not a big deal. Just expand when you need to expand. Okay, we're chrono boosting upgrades now. We're taking our gases because we're fully saturated. Let's now scout the left side of the map with our sentry. With that hallucination. So again, we're scouting for expansion count. We're looking for bases, locations.
Less than 3.
Thank you very much, Jeff Pizer. Much love, dude. Take our gases. Take our gases. Make archons. Put these bad boys on the third or the fourth mineral line. Keep making probes. We're almost done. We can see there's no hidden bases from Zerg on the left side right now, so we're feeling pretty confident about all of this. Let's put a couple pylons behind our mineral line. Okay, he's here. He's here. He's attacking. So let's attack. Attack right towards Zerg. That's macro at the same time. He's also got a ground army, right? So let's, add some more production, and we know we're up against the ground. And why are we adding more production? Because I can't afford anything. Okay, let's pull my army back because my army is starting to get stupid and staggered.
Upgrade complete.
Okay. Get upgrades. 2-2. Grab another probe off here. And maybe start mining this out so we can eventually expand there and clear those minerals out to create an opening. Because it only has 2 trips per patch to be deleted there. Okay. We can add in all these other production buildings. And our money is still being spent. It's still being spent for the most part pretty well. We're keeping up with it pretty well. Let's now expand it right here. Again, we're just expanding in a line. Like, we're expanding to any base near our base. Maybe we expand there next. It's all good. It's close to our base, right? We're not expanding, like, in the middle of fucking nowhere on the right side of the map. Again, this is not proxy bases. This is all about just standard safe play. Okay, let's make more immortals. Let's also start chrono boosting not only our upgrades, but let's start actually chrono boosting our immortals. This base is fully saturated. We're actually over probe count by 1, which is fine. Just stop at that point. Let's take another base again over here. Maybe make a nexus, a couple pylons, and then shift mine those patches to continue to mine them out. Let's make some archons because we're way more gas than minerals. Chrono booster upgrades. Chrono booster robos if we can, if we have any energy. Grab some probes. Send them over to a base that needs probes, like this base right here that we just built. Yeah. Make more archons. Now we have a lot of minerals, not a lot of gas. Let's make archons and let's make those Templars into archons and let's start making zealots. Now look at my money too, right? I'm like, dude, I got a lot of money that I just literally can't spend, period. So what are we gonna do then? Well, number 1, we're basically maxed out, which is nice. But number 2, we're gonna start adding on production. Need to add more production because we can't utilize it as well as we're doing right now. Oh, here he's attacking me, right? Let's go ahead and A-move that. Grab our observer, follow an immortal with it. Probes that are dead. We lost 2, so let's make 1 more because that's going to take us back to 85, which is going to be nice and smooth and easy peasy. Make some more zealots. Let's go ahead and make some more gateways now. Gateway. Shift, click the mineral line. Get upgrades. 3-3. Get some immortal action going on. Grab my army. And let's group it up now. Let's go. Because we just defended on the left, let's attack from the left. Okay? Because our army's already over here. So my army's on the left side. It's all grouped up already because we just defended an attack. And now let's go A-move. Shift A-move, Shift A-move, Shift A-move. All throughout the left side of the map. Right-click an immortal with our observer. Go back to our base. Fix. Good. Good. Go there. That's fine. Every other base is still really good. So we're not looking to build another expansion just yet. We're fine. Grab all these buildings we just made. And I just went up to 24. So I went to a lot, right? I have 24 fucking gateways. And now we make a bunch of zealots. 930 max. Yeah, right? Now look at this. Okay, so this is a good example. We didn't really have... This guy was not massively all in, right? He was not massively all in. He attacked us with a timing later on. Now watch this. Let's go back in this game. This time, let's not worry about our opponent as much. Let's worry about us. And let's look at this. Oops. Fuck. Okay. Now look at this. 3 minutes. 28 probes and 34 supply. Right? So let's go 3 minutes. 28 probes, 34 supply. We're at 29 probes, 35 supply. Holy fuck, I beat my previous best. Or the previous thing, my quota. And you know what this is going to do if you start doing this a lot? You're going to indirectly start memorizing what is actually good and what is bad. So if you ever are in a game in the future and you're like at 3 minutes and you're at 22 probes and only 24 supply, or like 28 supply, you're going to be like, I haven't been attacked yet, but I'm playing so fucking slow right now. Oh my god. You're going to realize you're playing slow. So there we go. 3 minutes. We're actually ahead of our previous best that we just wrote down. So now we have a new best with this game. We did better than we did before. Now we go to 5 minutes, right? Let's see what it has. Let's see how we are at 5 minutes. What am I doing at 5 minutes? At 5 minutes, we are at 49 workers and 71 supply. I'm ahead of workers by 2, and I'm behind on supply by 1. So overall, that means we've been making probes more efficiently than we were before, but it might mean we were using our gateways less efficient than we were before. Just by a little bit. But we're doing pretty good. Our previous and our current are super close together. It means we're playing pretty consistent already, right? Now let's go back to let's go to the next one. 7 minutes. At 7 minutes, 66 probes and 108 supply in my previous. Now I'm at 73 probes. We fucking crushed it this time compared to last time. We're definitely ahead this time. And 108 supply compared to 119. I am fucking crushing this game compared to last one. I am now ahead by quite a bit. That's 11 supply ahead, and that's 7 workers ahead. That's nice. That's super good. That's great. Just for no reason, other than the fact that we just macroed better. And then what was 9 minutes? 9 minutes was 85, 172, right? So we'll go back to 9 minutes exactly. Oh my god, I like triple clicked it. Whoops. Okay. So now at 9 minutes, we're at 85 probes, 86 probes. It's pretty much the same. We just went over, but it still means we got to that the max probe count we were looking for. And 172 supply versus 171 supply. Nice. We're doing good. Also, there was an attack that happened there, so we might even have been ahead of that. In the previous game, there was no attack when we wrote that down, but this game we actually got attacked. We killed some Zerg stuff, and we still managed to be at 171. So, not bad. This is definitely a good example of good macro for Gold League. We definitely crushed it this game. So, fuck yeah. Not bad. That's a good indicator of if we're playing well or poorly. Now, here's a real test. What if you guys who are trying to copy what you see in Bronze GM series, what if you do this with one of my games and you try to do it yourself? So you write my game's thresholds down and you see how well you can keep up with it. You could do it here's the thing, right? You could get as specific or generic as you want. You might do every 2 minutes. You might do every minute. You might do every 30 seconds. You could get literally as specific as you want, and the more specific you get, the longer it'll take to watch and check it, obviously, but the more specific you'll find out where you're starting to fall behind at. Instead of just saying, I'll watch the whole replay and I'll have no idea where I fall behind. I don't know. I'll have no idea of what time means. But now if you actually use time as a reference, suddenly you can actually find out where you're going wrong and how you're falling behind and things like that. You know what this is like right here? If you actually use this technique and you actually use time as a reference, it's legit free coaching for yourself. That's what it is. It's free fucking coaching for yourself. Because this is something, if I was a coach, here's the thing, guys. Let me tell you a secret. This is a truth. This is the biggest truth I can ever tell you about StarCraft. If I was someone who was desperate for students to coach and I really wanted as many people to buy coaching from me as possible, I would never fucking tell you that time is a reference. And I would just always, in different ways, tell you how to fix your build to make it better with time. But I would never actually tell you, oh yeah, you see, if you could fix it yourself if you just paid attention to time. But if I tell you that, it's now really up, like obviously you can still buy coaching if you want to, but it's really up to you if you pay attention to the fucking clock and go, okay, well now my build is just slow, or now my build is fast. So when I lose games, usually I play slow, and when I win games, I usually play fast. It's literally that simple, especially at lower leagues. But you see what happens is, this is what happens. Let's say hypothetically that this was my game that you're comparing to, and let's say these are your numbers. 5, 9, 12, 15. Let's say those are your numbers. And let's say you lost this game and you don't even know that your numbers are this bad. And then what is the outcome of why you lost that game? You go like this. I should probably micro my stalkers better because I just watched Parting fucking own Dark last night in GSL with a stalker build. You know what I mean? That's what most people fucking look at this. That's legit the response most people have, and they totally are oblivious to the fact that their build is just super slow. They're like, it's always my micro. I always got to fix the micro, dude, because all I see in pro play is micro. Yeah, well, pro players don't have to worry about their macro because they're all good at it. You don't have to fucking talk to Parting and be like, hey, Parting, do you macro? What's your max out like, Parting? Are you good at macroing? Do you remember to make probes, Parting? He's going to be like, fuck you. Yes, I know how to make probes. Come on. And then he's going to proceed to fuck you up in a real game of StarCraft where he's really good at it. Okay? Yep. And here you go, right? This is, again, another Zerg player who just has a smaller army, guys. It's a smaller army because we had a good... This build was executed well for us. We definitely made a lot of units pretty fast this game. We're macroing faster and faster and faster.
You want that big dick, you have to macro, it's work. But the money shot is micro.
Yo, Cam, thank you for the 200 bits. You can't macro unless you can micro. I mean, sorry, you can't micro unless you can macro. I said it backwards. You cannot micro unless you can macro.
Weird.
Fuck you,
Drop
no GG.
to Silver 2 trying to learn B2GM Terran Bio. Switch to the B2GM mech for shits and giggles. The cheesers disappeared and I went on a 14-game win streak, getting me Gold League for the first time. Thanks, coach.
I told you. Yo, Bada Boomer, thank you for the 5. I'm not hiding that fact as well. I've told you guys like 3 times already in the Terran series. If you don't care about going above Diamond League and you don't give a shit about Masters or GM or getting high Diamond, if you just want to get into Diamond League, the 2019 Mech Series is so much easier to do that with. But instead, if you want to actually not only get to Diamond, but if you want to try really hard to go above Diamond League, the Bio Series is better for you because it's gonna be harder to get to Diamond with Bio. 100%, it'll be harder to get to Diamond with Bio because Bio is not built the way Mech is. It's not A-move friendly. Bio sucks cock. A-moving. It's so fucking bad. It's so fragile, which is why it's not good at A-move. But it will also scale better than Mech does because Mech kind of drops off a cliff. You can't go Hellbat Thor anymore once you're Diamond. You just can't. Players are not gonna die to that anymore, and Diamond Plus. Okay, what are we against? Protoss. Okay, our first Protoss game in a long time. Let's go ahead and build our pylon on our ramp. Whoops. I fucked up my probe placement. It's okay. Stack our mineral lines if we can. Let's have this next probe pop out and build the gateway.
You must construct additional
Re-rally the Nexus to my mineral line. Let's build a gateway. And let's go scout his base. Chrono boost our Nexus. Let's build a gas. Let's fix my mineral line right now. And we need one more patch that's only got one, and it's literally that patch right there. You can see it only has one patch on it because it's idle for a long time. The way you can tell if a patch is idle, by the way, is if you watch the patch itself, and if no probe sits there when another probe leaves, it means it's got one probe. Easy to see it if you look at it that way. Okay, what's going on over here? Let's scout his base as well, just like us. So we have one gate almost done. What does he have? 2 gates. One of them is almost done. So we already know he's going to be aggressive because he opened up a gate just like we did, but he made a second gateway as well. Easy, easy, easy peasy. So now we just know, okay, we're going to be on defense. That's all it is. We know we're going to be on defense. Fix our mineral line. Rally our Nexus to our gas. Build a pylon. What's your max out going to be in Platinum? 30 seconds faster. We're going to be maxing out in Platinum at 9 minutes and 30 seconds. Every game. That's like the quota. If you can do it better than that, that's wonderful. But that's at least the quota. And just know Protoss can max out faster than 930. It's very doable. It's not like that's like the epitome of speed. Okay, let's build a shield battery at our natural because our opponent is looking like he wants to be aggressive. Let's also make a second gate in a
Love
robo.
the series. Does it ever make sense to harass mineral line using a prism with high Templars or Colossi? Or are charge lots more efficient?
No, you can do it with those tech units as well. That's fine. But you can only do that when you can actually handle it. And again, that's a concept, again, that's above Gold League, right? It's also above Platinum League. Also, it's kind of fancy. It's even above Diamond League, to be fair. That's like a Masters League thing you're talking about right now. But yes, that's totally doable if you wanted to play that way. You could totally do that. Okay, so this guy's attacking us with the depths, right? We'll talk about how to fuck a depths over later on in the series, but for now, we're not worried about it. We're just worried about simply making probes. Okay, let's A move the adepts. Look at this guy, he even microed his adepts. He made the red one go backwards and the healthy one go forward. But look, guys, I took some damage, right? I took damage, and it's okay. I took damage, and it's okay. Chrono missed my probes. I vibe. I never max out. My army keeps dying. It means you're really slow at it then. I don't know what else to tell you. Speed up. That's like if you die every game to every attack that attacks you, and you can't ever have the ability to max out, means that you're dying because your army is so tiny that you have no defense. So make army faster, and you won't die, and then you will max out. Okay, now he's attacking us again. This guy is very aggressive. Our opponent loves to be aggressive. It's okay. What are we going to do? We're going to just maximize making shit on 4-5, 4-5, 4-5, 4-5. Let's try and take our third base now. He might be down there with stalkers. It's okay. I'm still going to try. But he might be there. And if he is, well, looks like my probe's going to die. Yeah, he's there with a pylon. Well, guess what? I'll take that third. Am I just not going to take an expansion now? No, I don't give a fuck. This guy can be as inefficient as he wants to be all day. I don't care. Go for it. I'm just going to make immortals and a third base elsewhere. Okay, just don't go down the ramp, okay? Right? We're going to stay near our battery because, again, time is on our side. The longer it takes for this game to develop, the more likely we're going to win. The shorter and the faster this game is, the more likely he's going to win. Why is that? Because we expanded and he did not. Let's take our gases. Let's take our gases. Keep making units on 4-5.
You have not enough minerals.
You have not enough minerals. You have not enough minerals. You have not enough minerals. That's a good sound to hear. You want to know why that's a good sound to hear? Because it means we're trying to macro a lot. Okay, let's rally my probes down to my third base. Let's go ahead and get our upgrades now as well. Or prioritize 4-5 first, and then we'll get our upgrades.
You must construct additional pylons.
Make some more pylons in our base. Maybe fill in the dark spot in my main base as well. And now, look, we have 2 bases fully saturated. Now we're working on a third base saturated. And notice how a lot of people in this position would be like, Vibe, dude, you're going to get all in though, dude. He's got a fucking pylon, man. He's got a pylon at your base. How are you not shitting your pants? What has he done with it? Fucking nothing. Standard. Making probes, making stalkers. We need to get our upgrades now. And let's start making zealots and stalkers. Or so let's start making zealots and archons. Sorry. Here pretty soon. Look at this mineral line. Looking pretty good. Looking juicy. Make another immortal. Let's get a sentry as well. We actually, I don't know. I don't think it died. I don't know if we just didn't make one, but we need to scout, right? We need to go scout how many bases this guy is working with right now. What? He's not expanding me, so he's probably expanding. That would be my guess, right? Makes sense. Okay, he's attacking me with Dark Templars. Okay, so he's this kind of a player. Run our probes away. Keep making probes, guys. It's okay. You know what's going to happen if he runs away? Let's run back. Here's the thing. Use your brain, okay? What's he probably trying to do? He's trying to lure you out of position, right? So keep our army close between our bases, and now let's make static D in our bases so that our fucking... we just killed something right there. We don't want DTs to run rampant all over both of our mineral lines. We don't want that. Let's go ahead and get upgrades. Upgrade. Upgrade. Start chrono boosting my upgrades as well. Get charge. Get 1/1 weapons. And let's get our Templar archives. Get weapons, get charge. Build a temple archives. What's dying over here? More DTs are killing me down there. It's okay. Let's try and take this base again then, since his DTs are over there. Let's go like this. I move my army down to my natural, green box a chunk of my army, and move it up to this pylon and kill this pylon. Let's build a couple pylons here of my own. Build our gases. Let's build some more gateways and an immortal and some zealots. Let's build like maybe 6 more gates because I'm starting to get a lot of money now, guys. I have a lot of income. Chrono Booster upgrades again. And now we're also starting to make Archons, which is not even going to touch my minerals really. It's going to only touch my gas. So we can definitely afford more gates now. This is why Archon Immortal or Archon Charge Lot is such a strong choice to put together. Okay, let's transfer some probes that are oversaturated to like the new base we just made. Fill in these. Actually, we'll transfer the probes back to this base to be fair. Grab those 4 probes we just made and send them down here. And now we're fully saturated. Now we're taking the space up here. Grab our probe and make a couple cannons and a battery. Now let's make some Archons. Let's make another Immortal. Let's Chrono Booster upgrades. Let's use our Sentry wherever it is to... There it is. Scout the map. 1 Phoenix go left. 1 Phoenix go right. Grab all these gateways we just made. And let's now keep making Archons. And let's maybe add in a second cannon to each base. Because the DTs are actually a real threat if he attacks me with them. And I only made 1 cannon earlier because we were kind of broke. And now we have a little bit more money to work with. So let's just make a second cannon. And there we go. We have 2 cannons at every base now. Easy fix. There we go. There's a base down there. What's over there? A base over there. What's over here? A ground army. Right? More bases. More bases. Cool. We know we're up against ground. We know we're fighting a ground army of an opponent. Keep making probes. We're not done yet. We're at 77. Let's go ahead and take another base. Let's take a base up here or some shit. Let's take our gases while we're at it at this base. Maybe take another pylon or something because again we're super supply blocked right now. We don't really want that. Let's make all our Templar and Archon all over the place. I just did select all army and made Archon because we didn't actually do that yet. Chrono boost my upgrades. Check my probes. Check my probes. All my probes are happy. These probes need to be fixed, but let's fix that. Send some to the gas. More probes are being made. We only need 3 more. We're going to be at 85 now in just a second. Okay, let's make some zealots now. And we've confirmed where we want to attack because we see his furthest out base is this base right here, so let's just go there in a second. Chrono boost my upgrades again. Can make another couple pylons in my main base, which gives me more building room. This base is oversaturated. Let's transfer over here. Make a couple cannons and battery at this base. Good stuff. Make some zealots. Let's get my army going this way now. Hey, move my whole army this way, this direction. Okay, now we can make a couple more zealots. Now we're maxed. Get my army grouped up. Meanwhile, let's Chrono Booster upgrades again. Do whatever we can in the meantime. Grab some probes. Fix the probes. Cool. Okay, army's almost grouped up. Probes are good there. Probes are good there. Sick. Alright, army's pretty grouped up. Let's now group it up one more time in front of his base. And why are we going to do this? Because zealots walk way fucking faster than immortals. So let's group it up one more time. We could have just grouped up here in the first place, to be fair. I didn't have to actually group up there. That's all good. Okay, now we found his bases. Let's do it off the mini-map. A move, A move, A move, A move. All of his bases on the left side. Grab my observer. Follow an immortal. Okay, now let's make another robo. Let's make a bunch more gateways. Get upgrades. Chrono boost those things. Get more gateways. Am I microing my army right now? No. I don't care about my army. It'll handle business on its own. Grab some probes that are over. Send them to a new base. Take some fucking gases there. Start making a new army. Chrono booster upgrades. Grab all these buildings we made. And let's utilize our production that we just gave ourselves. We have 23 buildings to build units out of. Let's also take another Nexus. Because this base is going to be oversaturated really fast. Now make a bunch of Archons. Because we don't have any fucking like minerals really. We just have gas. We can Chrono boost our upgrades. And we can chrono boost our robos. Right? Make all these into Archons. Probe count still 85. We're still looking good on that. Let's take a couple cannons and a battery here. Cannon, cannon, battery. Because again, DTs exist in this game. Let's also make our own Dark Shrine at this point. Because what if a base trade happens? Chrono boost our Immortals. Chrono boost our upgrades. Okay, currently getting attacked in the main base. Let's go ahead and deal with that. He's depowering my buildings. Okay. Are we going to tunnel vision that? No. We're going to build a bunch of Archons. We're going to build a bunch of Zealots. And now let's just fix this. Okay. That's happening right there. He's still warping it on me over here. It's all good. Build another pound over here because it's about dead. Now let's A-move towards him. A-move towards his base. Make a bunch of Archons in the meantime because we have a lot of Templar. Make a bunch of Zealots. Make some Immortals. Okay, now he's attacking me on this side. What's our upgrades look like? Fix it. We need another pylon there. He killed my pylon. Okay, let's build another base over here because he killed my last base. Make some more Zealots. Okay, now he's attacking us. A-move the whole army in this area. In this general direction. Hey, he's once again killing me with DTs. Okay, it's fine. Go to a different base. How's this fight going? We'll make some more units while we're at it. We're winning the fight. We can A-move the area. It's all good. Transfer some probes to gas over here because we're mining up mineral fields again. So we need to send probes elsewhere. Send probes up to this base. Send more probes to take this base. Let's make a bunch of Archons again. Let's make a bunch of Templar into Archon. Okay. And now, let's grab my army and let's just go left side again. Let's attack left side first as a priority. So let's grab my army. A move on the. We can do it off the minimap. A move here. A move there. A move there. A move there. Grab my observers. Follow an immortal. And we're good to go. Grab shield upgrades now. Okay. Let's, this base, set it up again. Cannon, cannon, battery. Sick. Probe count, 82. We need to make a few more. Fix it. Fix that gas, too. Let's make some more units again. Fix this economy. Grab some probes off. Send them elsewhere. Vespene geysers are depleting. Send those guys elsewhere. Send them over to the new base we just made. Let's make another Archon. Chrono booster upgrade. This is painful to watch. This is Gold League. And if you don't play like this in Gold League and you try to play like a Masters player in Gold League, may God help your soul. There's a reason why a Masters player or a GM player can win against a Gold player 100% of the time. And it's because Gold players that try to micro don't macro. I've said it more times than I can count at this point. But again, that is a fact of StarCraft. People who can't simply macro can't multitask. How the fuck can you multitask if you can't even macro? You can't. And what I'm saying as well, don't take offense to that. Anybody can macro if you just practiced it. Just practice how to macro and anybody can do it. It's not like a fucking skill that only the elite players can do. Anybody can macro. You just need to fucking practice. Okay, let's go ahead and attack his third base. Let's attack his natural. Let's attack his main. Have my observers follow an immortal. The reason why I'm doing it is because I have a bunch of new reinforcements. I might as well bring them down. And whatever happens, happens. Fix my economies. Go over there. Get shield upgrades. Transfer probes to a new base. Look at my bases. We're running out, right? Let's make another Nexus. If there are still DTs here, well, we're going to have a problem. We need to go kill those in a second then. We'll see, right? Fix my economy. Economy's good. Chrono boost this upgrade again. Economy's good. Economy's good. Economy's good. Economy is good. How's this going? Is there DTs here? The answer is yes. There is still a fucking DT here. So here's what you can do. If this is super annoying to you, just rally your robo here with one. Instead of like worrying about your army and being like, God damn it, fucking DT. Chrono boost out one observer. Chrono boost out some zealots. Okay? Or some archons, or whatever the fuck you want to make. And then just literally do this. Okay, watch this. It's super simple fix. Observer is now out. Right click your shit and right click this area. Be like, alright, DT, let's go. GG. And suddenly, you've cleared out the problem, and then you can take a probe and once again expand. And you're good to go. And once you have the expansion set up, you can now, if the next time you A-move, once again, A-move, 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 A-move across the map, grab your observer, follow some units, you're good to go. Okay? So let's once again look at this, right? Let's look at the chart here, guys. Let's look at the game. So this opponent was micro-focused. How do I know he's micro-focused? I could tell from the very beginning because he sent 2 fucking adepts into my base. So I imagine he's going to be microing like crazy in every fucking army fight that we're going to have. He also was attacking my main base a second time with a warp prism of DTs. This guy was all about attacking. He also tried to proxy stalker pressure me off of one base. He was warping in stalkers here. Well, check it out, right? Look at this. When the adepts arrive, I've already lost 1 probe. When the adepts arrive, I had a 4 probe advantage. Right? I had a 4 probe advantage, motherfucker. 4 probe advantage. Now look what happens when he leaves, when he's dead. We just A-moved it. I didn't even focus fire the red one. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. Look what happens when the fight's over. I had a 4 probe advantage. 4 probe advantage before he showed up. He just killed 7 probes. Yet I still have a 1 probe advantage. How the fuck does that make sense? Because I have a natural nexus that is building probes the entire time versus he might not even have built probes during that. Let's watch. Let's watch his base. Let's see his nexus. The last time he builds a probe before this happens. When do you last build a probe? Okay, you haven't built a probe for a while. Let's back it up again. Back it up again. Back it up again. Back it up again. Okay, let's look at this nexus now. At 1 minute. Okay, here we go. There's another probe. Here we go. 2 minutes and 2 seconds, right? 2:02. Does he build any probes here? Let's see. From 2:02. Okay, there is a probe that starts like 7 seconds later. So let's write this one down now. Okay, there's another probe. At 2:27. 2:28. 2:28 is his last probe that we physically know about right now. 2:28. Does he build any more probes from 2:28? Let's see it. The next probe was started at 3:35. This is a result of 2 adepts running around my base. Look at my probes. What happened? Guys, 3:35 is when the probes started, right? From 2:28 until 3:35, no probe was made. Now watch this. At 3:34, I bet the adepts died. And then 1 second later, he starts making probes again. Let's go ahead and back it up to 3:32 and watch the depths die in my base. And now it's time to macro again. This happens to fucking everyone in this league. That is unacceptable, dude. If you kill 7 probes but don't make probes for like 80 fucking or like 70 seconds, like 68 seconds or whatever it was, I don't even remember the numbers anymore. If you don't make probes for like 68 seconds and then you kill 7 probes, you know what you just did? You just took your 7 kills, which was actually good, and you fucking threw it in the garbage can. You're like, oh shit. That was good, but also that was bad at the same time. Guys, killing 7 probes at 2 adepts is fucking amazing. That would actually, like, end the game in a pro level game. Like, another pro gamer would be like, God damn it, I just lost 7 probes to fucking 2 adepts. I'm dead. I fucking lost the game already. But you know what a pro gamer is not going to do while they kill 7 probes? They're not going to let their Nexus idle for like 70 fucking seconds and build nothing. They're not going to do that. This is why you can't fucking micro in lower leagues, dude. And look, I'm still ahead. I've lost a lot of probes, and I'm still pushing further and further into the lead. Now my opponent's getting aggressive with stalkers. Aggression, 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 piled on more aggression. And would you think it? Would you think that the guy who has killed 8 units, he actually killed another probe right there too now. Would you think the guy who has killed 8 probes, and he's only lost 2 adepts at this point, would be behind by 15 supply when he's only at 47? And he's also behind by 8 probes. The exact amount of probes that he's killed is the same amount of probes that he's behind. So he would have been behind by 16 fucking probes if he killed none of them. But here's the thing, right? Would he actually be behind by 16 probes if he didn't kill any? The answer to that really is no, and the reason why is because he would have fucking macroed. We just, instead of me having 39 and he having 31, I would have like 47 and he would have like 47. If we both focused on macro. That's what the real situation would be. We would both just have more probes. Now look at the supply, right? Look at this fucking supply, guys. What is our opponent going to do? Our opponent is going to set up some more attacks, right? He's got DTs attacking my base. He swiped out some... How many probes died there? I just lost 8 recently. Now I've lost a total of 16. So I just lost another 8 probes. I have lost 16 probes up to this point in this game, and I'm still ahead by 2. Now I'm ahead by 3. Now we're tied. Now I'm behind. He's doing a good job. He's actually building probes right now. I'm proud of him. Yeah, look, the supply is actually somewhat evening out too now. So the game is somewhat stabilizing, but the thing is we also played a game that is very inherently safe. I feel like the game would not have stabilized if we did not build cannon battery at every base because of the chance of DTs killing our probes again. But we built cannon battery everywhere, so it slowed us down a little bit. It's okay though, because now we're safe against future DT attacks. Okay, then. This is what the first fight looks like. This is the very first fight of the game right here. The real fight. The first real fight of this game is right here. He has a good probe count overall at the end of this. Here we go. He's got a shield battery. He's also got a battery overcharged.
Yeah.
He has a superior concave because he has air units in there as well.
Advibal, also you're trying to say he basically cut off his own arm to try and beat you with it. I mean, you took some damage, but he lost an arm.
Exactly. That's exactly what I'm saying, Gamer Grim. Thank you very much for the tier 3 15 months, dude. Much love. Okay, both of our concaves honestly are not great. I'm going to go and say that right now. His concave initially looked better, but after that, Immortals kind of blocked everything in the back. Neither one of us had a good concave there. Is he macroing the process? What's he building? Like, that battery overcharge was really good, though. That definitely helped a lot. That's why, that is why we lost this fight, is battery overcharge. That thing fucking owned us. Oh, there you go. We just got decimated. In terms of resources lost, right? We lost almost double. This is like the story of every game, I feel like. It keeps happening because we're not microing. And our opponents are still relatively good enough to keep up with us in macro overall. We're not making this too unrealistic, and I'm not maxing out at 8 minutes when my opponents are like only at 90 supply or some shit. We're keeping a relatively close game here, so it's again doable for Gold League, right? But we're taking horrible fights because we're not microing and we're getting fucked up because of that. But even though we take bad fights, we're down by 60 supply. Suddenly now we're only down by 30. Now we're only down by 20 because he just threw away some DTs in my main base. Now he kills this base right here. And now we're pretty much tied on supply. We're actually ahead now by 6 supply. We caught up super fast because we have a lot of production. And then here's the second big fight. Bunch of Archons fighting a bunch of carriers. And Zealots also pushing forward into a bunch of Mortals and Stalkers. He recalls. He gets out of there with a lot of his units. And now suddenly he's the one who's down in supply against us. But let's look at that macro, right? Remember how we were down in supply by like 60? And then we recovered back to maxed out before we got attacked by him? Like by the time he attacked us, we were maxed out again. We'll see if he can do the same thing, right? And if you can't, it means you might have not enough production. It means you might not be utilizing your production as well as you should be, like that. Like he's not building anything out of the gateways, and he has fucking tons of resources, right? But instead what's happening is he's prioritizing the fight over the macro, and he's not building anything. So he's gonna die for sure then. And there we go. Now there's stuff being built, but it's after the fight's already happening. So his units are dying as he's making more. So it's late, essentially, is what I'm trying to say. And because of that, it's like a tipping point. We just kind of tipped him over. Now he's just gonna die, because now it's just he'll never recover at this point. Because even if somehow he kills this army, his base is fucking dead. Remember how we talked about how he had 87 probes and we had 85? Well, now he's probably only got like 50, guys. He's got 54, and it's going down as we speak because he's losing all of his probes and his bases. His economy is going to garbage right now. Your probes are under attack. Now look at his probe count. He's got no fucking money. Also, did I tell these zealots to go attack these probes? No, I didn't do that. You know what? I did not say, zealots, go attack the probes. What happened was he pulled his army back. He engaged, and then he realized it was a bad idea, and wherever he was, and my zealots maybe it was the pylons. The way he built his base. My zealots literally killed shit all the way towards the probes. It was the pylons. Yeah, it was not. He didn't actually pull units back. It was the pylons. They just happened to aggro. It was like a breadcrumb trail that led to probes, unfortunately. Because my army was being told to go here instead. It was going to the main base. And then, yeah, now he's just super dead, right? Because he doesn't have anything. GG. Nice, dude. Platinum 3. Hear the eagle. Guys, thank you for watching. This has been Gold 1 to Plat 3 Protoss. I hope it helps. Again, it always comes across like I am, but I'm not trying to pick on anybody. So if I play anybody that is like watching me talk about your gameplay after the game's over and you're like, vibe, bro, why are you so mean to me, bro? You're GM. You're a fucking smurf. I do it out of love, guys. It's all out of love, okay? I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to help everyone get better at StarCraft. I do it out of love. And again, if you want to play however you want to play, I'm not judging you. If it's fun for you to play whatever style you like to play, fucking play that way. Go for it. I don't give a shit. Have fun. Fuck what everyone else thinks. But if you want to get better at the game, it's the hard-hitting facts that are just the truth of something you need to embrace if you want to truly get better at StarCraft. You have to embrace efficiency to grow as a player in this game. But anyways, guys, thank you for watching. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you guys in the next video in in Platinum 3. So until then, good luck. Take it easy. Practice. And I'll see you guys again for Platinum 3, where we learn more shit once again. Take it easy, guys. Much love and peace. Sorry for no camera. Bye.